Adekoka. Chairman Adekoka. And Saturday, exactly. Chairman Adekoka.
Because we see it 3 years ago,
right.
We say, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say, Edumana Mafna. Meaning that. And common any common Dikaya interview now. You're very pleasing. The time will soon you put
divine. Yeah, divine. I go home.
Go home, MPP. Where are Ashimo?
Hey, sorry, Ashimo. Hey, fetch me. Ashimo. Ashimo. Hey.
Would you be the uncle?
That's a move. Ashimo.
Some people crowd there by see who
yeah. Not so swag baby. And in fact, over the weekend it was a funeral for both parties, you know. And it's no more year and every is no more year exactly. And then it's for the Evans Amankwa and Papa. Oh yeah, Ashanti region for lawyer and this is for lawyer Kasa. Aha. On as a party in Yasembia. On party in Yasembia Ukumasia. No. And then the lead counsel for the party. I want to see the mom exactly. It's in penny for Chrome over the weekend and at Central Regions and penny for Chrome. A year put in the chairman. Kutindiano and Uncle so unfortunately over the weekend or baby. But Nina the Asiba as a Dabama a Yampon, a young copon. It was a form and then Monday morning, the 2nd of June 2025, will be a Kwaba at the bar Oyerepa TV. So of course. Jumedi Oyerepa breakfast time, that is OBT. Now, I'll pay the quick one. One I'm wishing say Ken Oforiata. The back down. Omba. The Womba.
I didn't know the other children saying tell
Womba. It's more I'm wishing you so man. What's one man won't understand Womba. It's a woman Zoom interview. So always been on Zoom interview. Zoom. Google Meet. Whatever. Anyhow, I bet interview there. Internet interview. No party.
Google Chrome.
Just so I read this obey interrogation. But so no one physical presence there. What bad there? And I was saying. Oh, Manamunchino. Oh, Manamunchino. It's one I'm showing said the bill condition. I am a friend here. It was a fine Juma. Because won't you know when you have 50 billion India? Can the IMF no World Bank? It can say what can't your OSP say? Bray, Nanka me see me buying there. I'm what to man. But still now no one yet. It's a member. But however, I ready. So I was sending me Google linker, Zoom linker. Now me trust. Now my interrogation. Juma mo him say Ken and Brana Bushafo. You can't say, oh, say no. And one
say, but it be 2 weeks or so last week when I'm a person, may I am person be sound. Okay, can't know the man and ask, or Martin and Kana. But I never be able to me ref. Okay, internet, they will meet him with me be some. So what be one?
Me last week, I'm saying, we talk mistake to say so about this week. Yeah, it's and Russell, OSP issue statement in Meno. There was some way I was say. Or Bogana Funina Amania said, Ken, time now, or the man no, a your china, and also. So I'm ma, already declared wanted the beam. It's an adrenaline, so, and information so by say, still not a home fan. It's one to remember. It's the OSP has to decide whether somebody declared wanted. And I know, based on this new information from Ken. Wow. Because if you are one man and one French man, but they are, and you want some. But what did say more? As you say, obey GD, say, who didn't, and they was it. And they was it. And I say, yes, I want you. Usaya, no way, right? Usaya, to me by any time. But the question I ask is it true? The question I ask is it truly sick? Some pampas or yari. I'm pampas or yari. That's the question we ask.
Especially near school. Not that one class in the business. Also, Yari. Yari to be bow. Everything about. Send them paying for you. Say, Upa 2 Yari, Upa 2. Ah, but you have to Upa 2 Yari, Upa 2. Ah, well, no. James, I want to pay that's the information for you this morning. We are waiting for an update from the OSP. Say, based on the latest information, are they still going to go ahead and declare Ken wanted? And I say, declare wanted. Of course, a bar will give you all the information. Within the Kwesi Parker, well, sir, on the pay
many aba
Akua Asieduaa ena nimu hia abusuafo nkomo ne de bebre wo ho ebi ne abobo so e de akyeremu ye dwuma nkomo nkitinkiti wom message of motivation wom whether no forex news wom your newspaper headlines in the review ye wo sports wom Ghana to say health and lifestyle na fe OBT agenda and I adwoa nti nkomo esi over the weekend nyina ya buruburu bi so na de aka nyina so aka ho ye de beka ho na ye de aba besomo ye de mo nyina se mama kwa aba de ba yedwuma so 9:30 pepepe na ye de akwawie ye ne asori adane de aka ma sometime to champo and the sports crew
right. So we just want to pay it quickly and go for your message of motivation, which is always brought to you by Bosheba Electricals. It was another pay Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. I'm not careful about body. Chris Pratt. I know woman. What Chris Pratt? Not there's some. It was for say, I'm a man of faith and believe that God works in mysterious ways and gives us signs and gifts in life. And those gifts oftentimes comes in the form of people. Again, I say, I'm a man of faith and believe that God works in mysterious ways and gives us signs and gifts in life. And those gifts, oftentimes, they come in the form of people. Look at another page.
Chris Pratt, the full name is Christopher Michael Pratt. Or American actor. Yeah, they know one home one day, papa, 100 most influential people we are say 2015 no come home.
Oh, okay.
Enti owodin e wa America man emuwawo no June 21st June 1979. We do 45 years. But no Virginia, Minnesota, South America for na beka no. Minnesota. E United States. Ne yere Catherine Schwarzenegger. And on any giant, Chiwabefa and Faris, or no, on any say, or Ma Eloy Pratt Jr. or Ford Fitzgerald, and so come home be. Now, was so you movie be a back with the end, will be or send the upcoming movie a Messi. Eddie Messi.
Messi. Is it Messi or Messi?
Messi, M-E-R-C-Y.
Okay, so Messi.
Messi, aye. Na, Onianom Angie and a Kelly. Na Chris asama okana no pe utie nanum asem na obeye religious woso oginyame di woni se nyame akwan eye bebre na nyame yensenkyere ne woni pa mu papa wosan dum nipa ode akyede dum nipa na nyame akyede papa wode dum nipa no ebi ye nipa wode wo mo ben obi etu wo ho na wo namfonom wo abusuafo o ayonkofo a omo do pe wasem a enyame akyede ni bia enye obi a nenya ne saa
exactly
praise before him be ye wo him be ayeto asa wo da ase ye praise enyom wo da ase manamfonom me da ase mabusua me wo me da ase ma me wo me da ase ma wo namfo a wo de ama me tina chese namfo kura nso ye hua pa o bible mo unya damfo na unya damfo papa o tufu pa enti Chris Pratt asema wo kana no pay no wo se oginyame di or religious or jinyame di onim se ogidie se nyankopon wo ho e na nyame so akwan no eye bebre ni o ma bebre na nyame fa so ye nipa doye adoye nyame di ye nipa ni bie eye ni papa o ma ne ben wo nti wuti ye na wunya yiri bi ekunu bi ebe bi adamfo bi kro wa bonte a wonya obusuani adamfo bi wa kwese o chenia
of course
de wonua anyama wo no sacrifice no ayama wo nti se wunya sa nipa ni bi no ye dofo a na wada nyame ase papa esanse wuti ye Sanso na damfo ni bi won so a wo sesa wa no de wakoto esam se twawu enye ko asem ne yeka nyemum Chris Pratt yonko sem na wo ka se onyame manipa bi a wo mo ya dofo eba won chen a de nyame ase no amma wa kyede pa a eso
James of another pay there. That's our message of motivation this Monday morning, the 2nd of June. In fact, I didn't even know that was the information I had, but Misha said, and the year the said month in the year 2025. Gift in the piano, no, that is a gift.
Kwesi, I was a gift so no nyame de brɛ no nipa bi wɔ hɔ a wo na wo ya damfo nteba wo ntimi nkipi adamfo
bi wɔ hɔ tisa
oni ne yonku bia fall out we yes na wo ya
we are quick to make friends and also issues
and chekura wo kuntokwa no ye friends wo bubo nua yeah man especially mo me makura de wo time fa sem nya asem mo fa sem nya asem be ma ayire ana ne girlfriend bitimi akochiti with obema foforo be ma ni be join ne yire no but on be ma foforo no hu no be chia wo sasa na mo
I say normal
Sana musubantie. Baye man dey totally different. Obi o ha adam for no be but 20 maintain. What is so so a e wo say say we a wo inhire bi ato egu.
Right. So we just want to pray that's our message of motivation this morning right here on the show. Quickly, then check your weather for the next 24 hours. Right, Abusia, for another pay, we had a current situation at Ashanti region. We are doing 24% chance of rain, just say we are in the Greater Accra. A 4% chance of rain, just say we are not so Bobuta or a Greater Accra. So that is the weather update for the next 24 hours. Quickly, Ghana Sidino, Abusia for and I hold it is another pay. In fact, the government officials are very optimistic. In fact, I'm very clear in their mind, say. Almost sustain a yesterday with the gold board now ban. Sit now when the bit me sustain. Well, only time will tell. So yeah, the American only time will tell. Another pay. The interest sit now when is against the dollar and other major trading currencies.
Abusuafo sikasam no baby agya ne ho fiada na me se hwa na ehuva around sa 10.2 eno ye US dollar, pound sterling am 13.8, euro 11.6, Canadian dollar 7.4, Chinese RMB no krole e we kire ho 1.4. Enti wo hwe baby agina no sika no na ho de ne baby a eho anope Bank of Ghana release figures no e de amaye eno no ya de besi wo ne adane ye ho e se gina hachi Ejina wache
for the past year ejina ha wana bejina sa wana bejina kai pa disa
enye bad
no ejina wa pa disa ejina wa pa disa
ni se bi beka ho
yeah
se so ante further down dey
ejina wa pa disa
tiabusuafo baby ayedri ye na ne ye ho na ye nko sports nkomo over the weekend no obi say Champions League the omo boy na dey
PSG ni
obi say na onim say the other side no mo je 5-0 no na nkomo say game no nke jema omo Barcelona
baba
oni pa de kan me ne ya adwen pa baba finance akodi ade akose na say Barca wo enka yama be bobe 2 goals ye go ama ayefe eno ne ada sporting disciplines areas akodo a ye de sports be baba isa ye crowd na say they no pay ne wan efa we say
afofa no
say catch pa ye da ne ye ho akwaba na ye de sports no e de apremu
Awisia anopay yemuache na yemu akwaba Ghana League na guso say nti yaba anopay yeba kan adwache nipa bi manfo sika omde investments in football no eni kwan say ye omu say look at Abrankese so kwa Abrankese na akohwe adwuma Dr. Kwame Chei ayewo Abrankese a sam nipa say so wo ye no mu fi football no ma be na football na ye football e sika na de nti se wo ye na sikafo no twom ho fi football ma ebe na sebio mi hia nia mi drai my football anope be hwe Ghana League no said ye say na anom be kan say Kotoko is the most professional league club e Ghana ha na mo mfo nti ase omko bibia ni omso Kotoko de komo bibia ni Kotoko omko bo draw ye be din komo Ghana League no Kotoko din kunim brekum Chelsea etifie ema Gold Stars ekoko share omo ye de honsem ebeba baseke game na mana wiye nations ye mobiem in Ghana football part 2 Kotoko na against Heart of Lions mrebi atwam Yemobiem part 2 in the league. Aba. Get the details, ebeba. Enti, when you have a opinion, then I'm say, a good some sports lawyer, ye, Yansha Semfi Ghana Premier League, match day 33, Asante Kotoko, SME and Samidiama, Etimu, Mienu, Legon Cities, and to me, and Shobi, Heart of, folk, Eshomo, Ekaminense, Heart of folk, Edin Kunim, over Legon Cities, over the weekend, Brekum Chelsea, Eshem, Emma Gold Stars, Eshemiensa, Baseke Holy Stars, any Nations FC game no, Amana Wiye. Na Nations the Krataba, Womu Churchem Y game no, Amantibi Antwaso, Karela United, Eshemiensa, Young Apostles, Entibi Antibia Accra Lions, and Shebi Dreams FC, Eshomu Mienum, FC Samates 1996 our Mr. Century Sports Arena Eshemienum Eduana FCT Kanambakon Heart of Lions Shemienu Betem United Ete Kanambakon Director Yansha table no said etiem enano pay Nations FC after senra omanwie omu game no with 32 games na omu lead minim why Nations League no mobiem because Nations bo na already the last game against Heart of Lions omu G League no now will be about fixed match. Oh baby, not on for Major League. Nations, play your game against Heart of Lions and win the league. Oh, 60 points, same as the any Gold Stars. You win your last game. So win your last game, Gold Stars and win in the last game. Why win the league? No. Asante Kotoso and Sam 58 points. Heart of Lions Toso and 9, 57 points. Heart of Folk Toso Enum 55 points. Samates Toso Nsia 51 points. Midiama Toso and so 50 points. Dreams FC Toso and Oche 49 points. Betem United Toso and Kron 44 points. And they do Doma Eduana Stars. One Toso do with 44 points. Inti Yabaka highlights of the notable games. Kotoko Erineye against Midiama. And after other game no so Toja and Heart of Folk Legon Cities highlights.
And they have done it. What a way, Peter. This is Albert Hamoa.
Angle same goal post.
Albert Hamoa.
With break out aggressive is Joseph Ablo.
This is a pass. Midiama could make it one. And they she puts it in Albert Hamoa. He has made it.
Yelcha post-match conferences, Yelcha Kotokodiane Kane, na coach Ibrahim Tanko, ono, and Etrene, Emma Midiamo, so Lusu game in there. Nemo, I am proud of a Modimba, Nemantana, Edana Die, Abdul Karim Zito coach, Asante Kotokose, Nemantanum, and Modimbo. Now I was sure of missing some players, yet I was of finding somebody to do the work for Krobia, Asante Kotoko in Timra.
I think I'm very proud of my boys, and when you look at how we started, we created a lot of chances. After the first goal, we should have gone up 2 or 3 goals. But I mean, the situation that changes the game, I don't want to talk about it. So let's continue, and we have to accept it. Yeah, definitely. I think we need to add 1 or 2. And we have last game now against Brekum Chelsea, and then we have to sit down and look at the squad, and then try to beef our squad and then go in for the next season.
Well, I'm very happy we'll be able to win the last match at home, and the supporters were happy. So this is what I've said from the beginning of when you interviewed me. I said I will be very happy when we win the match today, and it was very, very competitive. Seriously, if you are not here, you may not know. So I mean, we took our chances. They also took their chances. So I'm very happy about why we call it a team. You understand me? It's not an individual issue. It's about a team. When this man is not there, another person will be there. So you fix in. Me, I always try to work with what I have to get what I want. So I know there's no way I'll get to Opoku. So definitely I have to do everything possible to get what I wanted without Opoku.
In the city, the sport is going for the relegation, but the team is there. We know this season this team play well. Have the young players who are playing well, and we also came with our strategy to score and keeping the score, taking the maximum 3 points. Like we are objective today, and we get it. We get the 2 goals. We are happy.
And your coach Abubakar Watara and the team say Legon Cities omulusuye omukọ relegation there nemu omukuta good team owie no Adnan Said or say heart of folk and a team kunimum tactically na Legon Cities are better than Accra Heart of Folk. Adnan Said Yansha Nations FC Shemwai Enra Omanwe game no war and you know say Nations Football Club has taken the difficult decision not to continue our match against Baseke Holy Stars due to series of unacceptable incidents that undermine the integrity of the game and the safety of our personnel. Omuchem say the integrity of the game the safety of Nipa Nations Jomo call and you know say decisions nibini almost poor officiating. The level of officiating was extremely poor and fell well below the expected standard. This compromised the fairness and credibility of the match, raising serious concerns about the integrity of the competition. So they are talking about referee na modembo elfem Emma game no entimi konfan koranimti di omujira so eja bonu bibini poor officiating. Security concerns. Our president, Mr. Divine Boadu, and the chairman, Dr. Kwame were physically assaulted by home supporters. This hostile and violent conduct created unsafe environment for the players, technical team, and officials. Me no mo ya adwen. You see won so atre no nti se ukona bibi se isia na wahu inadequate security personnel pre-match agreement stipulated deployment of 70 police officers. Name of the 20 officers and by disrespect to our supporters, media obstruction. Some more be room and commentary photographer and kwakutwa game no. Into any near nations, omodia base way and a jump ra ama game no. Womo entime and twas when we Champions League na rehosem Emma Inter. Paris Saint-Germain 5 Inter nil. Highlights it was.
Les Parisiens attendaient tant la finale de la Ligue des Champions ici à Munich.
Things around our league, you know, Emma, your football no bad for more. Nti league na your born quarter company. What is the motivation? League na ojia unya bibi papa biano. What's the motivation? Say ube more treat you be our stadium. Nipa bitimi kwatena dem na ama fix match. Moba amo say e be gina ha ni I can't foreign 1 hour, I can't foreign 30 minutes. Omo ye ni look at the Champions League goals. Look at the pitches, look at the sponsors. Tibere ne enka wasem. Ama mrante generation eba no. Director said dem si pe emrofo no football ya nhwe ya the next 5-10 years your football be guam ya adwuma hwere o. Abusia yedning na si ha 9:30 ye be shia ewo today's sports no so. Now for details and more ye dey adomo sports lawyer ni ye dinkra.
I want to be ebusia mamache mamakwa baba Oyerepa breakfast time so ebraso say ye di newspaper review etwa muso midi de na nama intifo na me na Akua Asieduaa ene Kwesi paka wosen na ebedi dwumenti yen content me na yen fanhyehyɛ so ebusia me chechi am o
Joshua happy new month by the way
happy new month we dey on general say
madam for be say na say e ma no happy new month ncha na makofa
yeah some na makofa ba
dia
oh wana ya send no message happy new month
enu twema happy new month na dia we say kana mo de ba
na me ayo adom we gra new month from
mo start say yen ni ba bia mpesa
ya di GBB
mo ba gi so de tu mo so
Eusia for Shankrata na the Daily Graphic Truth and Accuracy every day. Banner headline and as some kesia eda krata yenim anope wetwa openi GR penny phone and at which the abanosi EVAT system GR signs on 3,000 businesses 5,000 more prepared to on board and then who some taxes and I say quite fast so ejejeje tour at the board manumpuntu and was some and I work come as some anope ewa krata yenimum Zoom Lion signs waste management deals in 3 countries and our government supports Ghana bauxite companies smooth operation the women saben kumisuide etwa prekese me ahwa so mom tietie no kwa mbehu dia me why GPCC raises concern over harassment they was running from the day abom sekua wo show mu chi
o si wo hwe mu chi
chi kasapa
there way a collection of political parties
ana mse Ghana Pentecost
and council Ghana Pentecost council
because me try na me de etoto ho sasem na de when o makọ harass na omo kasa we political parties
I'm say won't to me you know
so I'm sure you saw
yeah won't to me in relation to me
meet you can say bill no chem say na ekoyi but na say time no crowd there because after 6 you know say Kwesi no more come one sem meboa but na you say me ani ko mo MP e de ne neoma akosi ekira e de ama no me tie say and you are not more pen, your pen one kind.
And that's what they say. Like, what you see you for them, but largely that is that is the allegation from
Kwesi se minya asem na me se Kwesi bebeli me na Kwesi edan esi ebuakwa ana so se si atasoma so wodi be si se ni beli akua na me ya ye se e ha yekofo duanti edan no wo ma senti yenye ya japade so said you see can me bomb pie say yes and
allegation so me I don't have any further information to that because you see I mean there were a lot of allegations that were made that any the press or hunger strike the lawyer saying any crack is not true so you know I'm careful when I feel my can I don't criminal I'm going to take because a pure police number and they are pure good be they be because I go position because or say or the man or the year human it is a say I don't know put on cardia or make count myself that's the allegation so I won't
and I make us say that one that na say this and come once I get Ghana this say they have more that cra esi why quiet dey into betimi dey na and Friday name no yete yes Dr. Bawumi akọ na fe Brian enso call and yete yes Gary ni mako enso akọ ekọ so enti de ono anya japade ni nyina e de ko ene do se yentwa mi ensre so enti no ka mu weekend go na te say asa omo amain to agreement say we ni ye say yemfa we ni nkosi ana yensre so wi ansa na yakwa kutaba mi sure say na de ni nyina betwa e fra no pay ko de ni nyina betwa na shege de wa hu bi na wotwe ni ne
chani shege angasa wo hwe bi
you can say what be here
no but when I see an water na unse Saturday na okoy na de oyare
no I mean they say they are taking care of him according to Andy no they've been very nice to him they've treated him nicely because on na okoko one no exactly one a lawyer nto no kasa mejedi nto no be kase akwa no hunger strike mejedi
boko no wa jere fried rice
na also no na ni kodi di o
was Andy appear to be lawyer one no na kunhu no I need him come on so no be can
no can I tell my fried rice na akukwa na msi ni ma just e to price
ubenya appetite di edi
obedi
e to price ne kwato fie bia so
obedi no dia no medronti e na EVAT asem say last week obabi graphic kuro ya fa buy Emma me TC ni say nkofo bebre ntia tax ye no na ye ni maduma na ni so asi
yeah direct tax rates na no mote here
wo formal sector ni mo apo pay ni ba no na ya tin already no ni ba ka credit alternative and majority enjoy obo okra what fear and ontua bi so okọ hospital wo de ne car fa kwan so enjoy ni o ma ye de tax ye nyina nti surgery so mo sign on 3,000 businesses na 5,000 more or prepare the on board. I am individuals and so company there or tracking abi hono. Now crank bi or no ye jume bia a year a mean kind of menial job because approach menial jobs be brain normally to tax ma and go for ye. Now yen to be nipa or found who di our mind when a door so it was our tax to you.
So we are saying message I don't know Gianna say see.
GPC.
Say GPC. Ghana for the Kwesi Council na yo mo. Because we are saying say yes yeah. So
na baby out no so hunu. Asa me hunu see more.
Say
G
say G dia.
Ama see me no na twa to no. Never compare the kind no. Sign difference.
Ama e pia chest space. On the chest space. I don't know what chest space.
GPCC.
It's Hansen GPCC. The Ghana Pentecostal Charismatic Council.
There was a
coalition that comes.
There was an Obi and
was it there?
There was an Obi and
so cause for
dialogue na offer no.
Dialogue
no. For na tentination fin
stakeholder
dialogue. Kwesi ani mo mo say.
other perspective by Shell. And so last week, episode we raised concerns. You know, I think that update a GI for the Abba. Say it's not like somebody slow because after 2 years, this are even but not say the last week report. You know, say omunya hoshe omuya slow na ade, but the Abba somebody be 3,000. Okay, I got 5,000 more to be on board. You yate. Sikasam de yin nya ganiska. This on become more that matise companies will have they generate fake e-VAT. You know, almost shut up bypass system no. And oman say generate oman gasa fake one. Just say GI for so extra sadie no. You go have do or ade no so there. But on generated the right e-VAT na ebema scan Ghana exactly akọ Ghana for tone. But rather we ono generate on one dey no. Do odema wo customer number who say but enko Ghana for two exactly enko ban for
money we yetrim
bonne dey Ghana dey
yeah money we yetrim che politicians
Ghana dey bonne
politicians say so me minute person
Ghana dey bonne pa you know
so bonne be kum bonne for
I'm asking Jerry for some motion side no more and see into aso bia
it was trying for the chronicle the workata and to aso the spear of the nation na we try zoom live penifo bi enfoni ediaba ana openi kase anasa kwantrafa oda zoom live jumokona no doctor anasa orasia onfoni ena ede nim no say zoom live makes Ghana proud in Africa, signs 3 mega waste management contracts in Nigeria, Ethiopia and DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay. And asem kase da asia no paying so a Ghana bauxite company makes giant strides. First ever refinery to process bauxite at Awoso in the offing. And so wasem ewa quotation so ewa say na krata be bre na to album quotation so to album. What's your stress in the room?
Verse now. You can just check on your phone.
No. Matthew 23:21. Kwesi.
Right, so Maminka
Osofo hwehwe quotation
Maminka GBCD no bauxite. I mean, well, omayade e obo mabaso. A big company sana it creates jobs. More expanded because of a refinery, many more people. It boosts the local economy near the Adintino or my idea. I never put a becca in Ghana for in the moment. Ya shall see no. Yan shed ye. Na my young good was in Yenibia. Be a Ghana dear Bia. Yes, this is a good thing. Yana bon banger. And the more revenue, the better mine. A month for the donor being Jumaye. Igua ye jumanje. The sena enye dwuma
egu ya etiri so
na be ken enye dwuma ni bi nye te be sere mpanifo because you see enra na no anafo be dim komo okwa pompe time no o say akra bi aba fofo wo hwa dwuma na o change time na o ye time na man ba you just plan break
na the master to
the masters be seniors be 3-4 omo to dim komo na akra no what na wa bra almost about 15 minutes it's in the friend and I can say hono and because tie keke na ye change man na we dey 50 minutes ko ya omo shege okoya omo shege tutu afa the penny for asoya ba betra de na say within 2-3 minutes omo fa time dia man azo sa suban no ye njai ye be ya ye njuma it's box side for be sero awaso in fact one of these said to me call kwahwe how a situation it omo ye dwuna mo nya ni say the be ade ni ngo embo yetiri so be be so
me from memory verse in Fia say Matthew 25:21
what's the there
his master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness.
Osofo.
This is what
Matiasi. But na go Sunday. Na go Sunday.
Okay.
It's my yade. It's the my yade. There be MC any Zoom lion. The end Zoom lion.
Come Zoom lion.
Nzo come Zoom lion.
Okay.
Zoom lion.
And look come Zoom lion.
Until
we be and come Zoom lion.
Okay.
Aye.
Also it was yes so make giant strides into so
afina number said the office
as a common immunity eguso ayebeba and am kwan mu it's in the pipeline
the GBC born we was say honorable Samson ahim many born so na be force no share no share
I don't know he's not the one
na no se no na say
na adwuma de ba ba bia ye me ti se adwuma e ba se ya na me pe apart from sika no ne krofo botum e be ye kama no e be geti aboysifo ni busy we busy wo nyoma bi wo ni nyoma bi mo adaje o ye ne ni petu mumre o no mu di mirika ekọ me kai mre bi a chefi dada bi mo ane ye wo asofo yi bi no mu a wo mu di ye nkomo ekọ ba ye obi ni konfo bi ko hia me nim se kwesi o te ho asem a
Jubilee Park
Monday party said no ko Jubilee Park aye ma me senti me ko gina wa dwe ba mtim senti nipa we no mu ye adwuma ya na ko adwuma na wo ba nka wo nya bre metra ha mehwe enkom entokwa so amasoda we timi de ponko betwam ye wo so ko charge agbo wo kwa wo ma bio na wo sinsam awie so saa e bofo anu bia so obi so obedua be ama na fifi wo twa ne dana ye jesa tisem na na ye de sore ye de me ka ma kusia ne se adwuma ba ye papa get too busy a enye no manyina na enya ho time mo kora be ko adwuma ba no wabre ube pension bi gare yedidi ya no wo wa nti ebe yi vices bebre e de afifiri nipa mu ama maburu na so wunya sika na wa spend ya na nyansa wo ho ubetimi ahwe na the pressure na wo system no akofom kra Zoom lion so ye bona baso na ono ani krom Ghana ha so Ghana for kase ase ye aban aba ene nipa aban abako ene de aba enyina binom problems wo mekwan a waye efa asokra commenting wo no akatua ne sa ne o me nyina ho no onhwe na onsam ni Kwesi atena ha ka Zoom lion nsam empede sa akatua na adwuma ne de omo ye but akatua no enye enkoyie ene ensan ma wo nipa na Africa afiri ba bi mo abegina kwan ho ene sa omo logistics ko de ye adwuma reflected Jesus ne sa ne o ma nipa ne bebre complain se no mu nya no nipa wo gina kwan ho hamache a wo pra na wo ni reflected Jesus a wa hye no ka be bo na to adwene ba bi kura ama na wu enti se ba bi fu ahu na adwuma a wo ye se ye kama adamo ye de frifie won siesie ne hu frifie na brighter days were ahead edema
Kwesi
we de mami
Kafra
mami fa we ntwom se the lands ministry no on be tree planting because box site show massively ye mbo mabaso so mo yade na because ye nipa kaboy na wo kaboy ye kaboy exactly when they the aid to the minister
lands minister
I say bonabaso o ye adwuma na ye ma lands minister no say kaboy is somebody also keeping ye because o ye adwuma di ye pa wakasa ye ntino solid guy that's the word solid guy it's a tree for life no ministry ni share on the 5th to 30th of June you could do a new seedlings no so that all the forest na ya say ni na e bit money ni say bo minister na baso na ya boy Mahmoud so abaso so oyade yambo mu nyina baso na ye nyina yen kai mu bi na ndua edua no edua obi ya say odua bi ama e say odua bi na so me dua bi
na o say no so ya na ye bisa June mu na mi say ya na edua no ba ye dua dada no ya na ho akwentabu te say bisa no so nya feedback
em say bisa minister
because ye dua ne prince on say 3 consecutive years
exactly
but who na ma won hye dan hu
but I say bisa
it's something that dua no work fantastic stretch na I call boss
but no could be I remember I did a show.
School so name no.
Be brina na
efuni e run e ho na afra. And I say we need
dua. Yenya nnuane so ye twa ye de si adan no.
Yeah. Say intina mo dey say we aba no. Say afforestation.
Yeah.
Exactly, they replace it.
Am I be advanced no? Uko twa dua just okwa assembly ho kwaji to me.
Exactly.
Na si wa kra plot so a pese o twesi udan no. Just okwaji to me. Na ye ne sa.
Ebusia ye gina we so na dey sister kwa birthday bia na. Kwesi wuso kwa de kwa say ya ye bisa. Ye gina we so na dey the broadcast pense mu no esi Akua Asieduaa e de Ghana sesan e to so medin e de nanama intifo.
Abusuafo ye mamu nyina chima makwaba ebra so say ye de Ghana tesen ene mu nkomo ebremo ena no pei aban bia ba enkomo aye bedie for unemployment ana enye adwuma nye ya mebunu dodo no a ya na ohaw medical ka ho asem se adwuma e ba ya na eye yesan se obi ye adwuma na daage obenya de akodi nsem ne ano de bekwa kobokro no ya na e wo fom kra obekwa adwuma na ba no wabre na ekwampa e betimi afa so a ye bebie adwuma ma mabunu nye bia ye no aban nam so ama wone Government of Ghana ne Youth Employment Agency YE akabom ya wonam so abebie adwuma bi vocational training center bi ediama woni epese suensa no dwuma na etumi aboa wo mo ama wo mo so atumi abo wo bra na wabepa ho ntoma a watu din make fashion inclusive training center ewo TUC ewo kumase na YE panyin Malik Basintale ono enkasa ne titia ne pabom free nkran ya oba ya oni Youth Employment Agency no emu panyimfo bi na osema mpani Jomahama na asoma no ana aban na adwuma wo ye reset agenda no ana resetting agenda ne ho adwuma na wo ye na adwuma ne ko so TUC ye wo kumase go for the name e won to aso
pani oda enie ano owura Basintale ne ode atubia se omo ye hwehwe se be ya obi bia wo mamu titiri wo ma omo na makwa ne bi anya adwuma se ne yese no wonso betime de won sa ye bibia mo ho no so onye ni daso ewo abrabom
na ye bi facility and a partnership a ye sha here some few months ago and there and a commission project na nkasa ne ye hwe ni mo se be ye na se ye train persons with disability nipa 100 ewo mu in various skills ebi mu besua niama pampam ebi mu besua beadwork ebi mu besua makeup ene ne akeka ho edwuma nketenkete a friend skills training no ye be boa omu nyina ma omu timi esua na omoso ede ahwe anyamfaso wo mu na asetine mu nso etimi akoyie amomo obi opamade bia opamma wa obetua naka ono so benye sika ede ahwe no ho ahwe ebusua eno ena ende ye ba ha ye ba beye na ne wo mu ne se yesre many organizations say ye create edwuma amankrofo a yen consider all levels of persons etodo obi beka se o ye adwuma ana o create adwuma de amabunu na o kohwe adwuma no kra na ye create adwuma 10,000 kra wa wona ma no wa uhwe ma obehu se adwuma na nya de a obetimi aye tese nia wo ye adwuma o choba na wo se wo employ omom wo fufuo no nipa 1000 ye nuanom with disability obedi abe wo sa fufuo no wo ho but we create adwuma at every level of life ono so benya no de aye wo mu eno na wa ye for ya adwen se ye be create adwuma to meet persons at all aspects of say we obi a wo disability bi na wo ko be say wo ko pay adwuma eya na nipa na nyese adwuma no hwe wa woni qualification how de be but o hwe say so for adwuma na afa na okwa bubu na stairs aye no disability friendly afa na okwa bubu ne dware ho aye no disability friendly into o hwe e ka obebo e wo sa ne mo nyina na o hwe say me de fa obi a menyesa nyema nyina na nke bebo ame inti hawa edom akomaso but nyema ye nde o hwe the entire facilities disability friendly onu tu wie na okobie na adwuma obey na disability friendly because wanya na disability friendly ono boss na nkasa crown mi wuremu enbia no you should look forward to making it better and better and better inti yesu ye beko na akohwemu na etimi aye na better and better for all of them inti mo bia nsuro we have listened to them, they appreciate what we have done. Like Oliver Twist, we would always ask for more. Yes, so near so anxious so any Jumani ye. Now Musha ye Jumana. Ebi anet nebi why you partner one of them to establish something like this somewhere. Until Musha so no muya, they also become partners of why no Musasha so I potential challenges we have potential solutions to them. Now yes,
German government senior mekaina amaye sikase yene aban ene akrankran dwumanfa yen effort embom na mabuno ne ma omanya adwuma aye na omoso ka cheye se ebe man krofo adwuma aye yen kan hu se people living with disabilities wo ho eni se yeyi omufim asodia eda yeso se adwuma ye bia ewo se eni aban na eyew se eni akrankrofo na eyew omo live with disability there was say ne omo ka ho fi say yentumi enkonya won wechi engineer yes ka say skills are enimde anansa no adwuma there say ye de mawa je say nyankopon frel e nsem na enye nsa no adwuma no nko an ye be kire mo ha ye be kire mo say ne awo ye wa de a obetumi aton digitally say utufie kra na wapam wa de bia obetumi de ato computer so na phone so na obi ato na yako deliver amano nti ni nyina customer care ni nyina beka osania omu wia se opesa oto ho na okọ yewa o company ana obibia no soro moa ho a ye beboa na wako set up se bia ofi yemfa ne se aiduase baby na se opesa okọ set o na wo ya no so moa be na so why small company no tumi afa nkwala mi no ana mi ense bi no ai den na so wa kirem na koso na ye koso na adwuma no ebiem na ha ne de ombe yani se company no no mo ombe pamwa ha no ombe ton ho mfaso no ombe nya no na omode akrakra aha no se ne ye be ska kakra na ye wo no ye betumi aye bi e wo krofufro so the
same time so no project when I'm here, the regional president of the Chamber of Entrepreneurs with Disability.
Yeah. Okay, this project and official mobile by an NTSA and the BC or maybe 1 month, and let's just started that our grandson and mobile win. You per se who and is what you want to say.
Oh, and he said, when him actually, I may be a chance, yeah, a orientation until a bread kakra or master hanino. I am 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks, yeah. Na orientation na ye normal pass it normal fa and tie bi mefa dwuma no mra ne adwuma no se na setie and it's what they hu here me this a opportunity bebre e de ma obi a opesa odi yi we say nemre e we asi 777 wow adwuma odi ho nti e hu say opportunity bi anko obi epe apisika kutua a onya na obenya no free there ade bi a gisem esa shen grind nti adwuma bi a etumpon mayen sene aye ho no
Okay. If we see business, more plans be say be a more time or more debate and so on. Mbeti me the money the chain we said the umbesuya na hano or more the year Juma say be yanko basi wa besuya na ja or say kwetena fi na say the enim na chine be ko jam be bia ko hwehwehska.
Yeah, project na twofold. First one is umsuya Juma, you can choose to work with us here. You have farm no ma Juma hana, you produce garment, you produce other things. So obe person obe ko fie na wakoye wa Juma. You be ma kids be obe ko no akoko bi wa Juma. But essentially you know wa quantity you know you need be di wachi. You make sure say baby also ko no ampa because essentially be ma one can do anything no. I say ma any con ho ne hu say ampa additionally na obesua no any ma de ma on o de ye Juma. But two options so pa utumi ka ha na o sua Juma no wi a na ya fa ha. Okay. Na ya fa won so a yesi bia ya fa na bosumi bia say Juma bia ya cooperative. The cooperative nature ne say mo mo nyina na Juma mo ba nyina no bosumi so a yete bills free mo dia kan na e mo asmo akatua sanity say wow we Juma afa.
Okay. On kasa na koye afutuo ne nkwansha na ode ma yenu anu na opese o chere say.
Well, then you can't go in and say as persons with disability and a toda I am a bumbo bebre and a by a quem. Essence Busia, any Mantemo, any baby free piano, any people who are show me because of Sebi or disability. Intino, Konya Bassi, and I say, a shame on the moon crying. Na opportunity ababeto say omodibetuyans and Juma in the area of fashion no na omonye nkranse no multimedia koso ya Juma no na omoma bibi embu omabam na omonhwe nchenchen na omonhwe say dachi bibi papa be free mu aba enti ebeda mpanifo this Juma die ba yeso asese omadwene persons with disability ho dey me dey omo say mu 50% dey say ma said the ultimate goal is PWDs be financially independent and as economically independent because for only be no chance say be wa ultimate e to bibia opa de ma ultimate hwe wo ma hwe wabusua entino na sanity de na is yes bitin aboa na ye modu bia e kombonten so kosra de e kosra nuane ne ade no na sane ma ne to atwa enti nkranhia medie be hwe so omomo ni nkwadwuma no mbesua no ho na mfimi no na chi no enhia wo no na mai ni pa foforo na omusu timi tu mbotum yi bibi de boa mai no omusu timi fa foforo so adwuma na mo be boa omo enti nkranhia de be bo omo ano no se omo hwe anamo mpanifo tu no na mo maso mamfa so emma Ghana mai nyina.
Okay ene edastron kwa ehu hia yie pa emma disabled for ayewo Ashanti region. This partners here omo launch make fashion inclusive omo any swade hu say obema disabled for abobra eyefe na mum enye asresre enunti ohwa omo partners na GIZ YA GCED any ose collective na omo ba together omo abehye sa dwumadewi na ehu hia mayen pa efise sa abrabo a enimunyam womu no ebema disabled for ensaka anything sesie ye won crofobia omaba center ha na omo ejina ekwan ho enesre ade ansa na omo didi ba ene omonya andaso a omo de eba bisua ensa anodwuma enunti yeda omo asepa ye omo na omo ne daso bia mampo ene omo enya ena hwe wo hwe se wo kwa abonten kra kwa kusua ensa anodwuma ye hwe sky be charge o machines abetito enya de a na de boarding enunti no disabled for enya apenya nenso sa enkofo ya makam ha bomu ama sa de no ayefu ama disabled for
am so adepam
mema de na ma de
am ba mema de
okay so far oba wadi hasa na say na ene ne watimi asu
oh mbale me do ma aba so bebre ma so bebre so bebre pa
okay eti say matade ya hye me ka se pam a obetimi apam
oh betimi apam no simple kra
we intense sir this initiative no almost omunya obia o mu na amanya opportunity mo amaba hanom no dear na mo like abrabo mu dear na mo sua free way mu.
Oh, the best thing is a time until the party time opportunity. I also take opportunity serious because we know after we know maybe take my baby and so and she say be we also find serious now do shame here.
Papa biaboko.
Nyankopa domo.
Okay, who sua then?
Mesua beading fascinator and bridal fan.
Okay, so far oba ha no akonya we amanya na dear na watimi asua so far.
Oi, Messia, how I see a snap and ye see a hemming. Even though Messia machine parts, now me crumping a minim say you will be a friend spool pin, you will be a friend feed dog. By me ban hanum no abwama me hu san ye ma we nyina even though say me wo fie crampo na say matarity a me hu kwan a me fa so ye hemming na matari metimi a hye e dia ko baby
hemming ne ye den
me pa cho hemming ne ye ade a ye for temporary thing e bia say wo ko baby na say watari ata utimi ye wo ko ba na wa ba bepam aha ene bi won so ye no wo slate so wo pam slate wi a utimi ye hemming ensu
papa bibia boko
Pachayu.
Usua de wa ha?
Misia de pam.
Ade pam tu ba de na watimi ehunu.
Oh, mehunu said the sisu enipa. You're taking measurements. Said it's not your part of machine. Part of machine. Me buy a friend many 2 weeks. Okay. Nti afre na o ma starting ti da me beto ye de yesu adunu.
Okay, say adwumadi aboa opa ho.
Aboa me say ama mani agim go fia ma ye boring obi apia na ka me nko a. Omo kwa me shedem san ba ye se ma be hu me na mfufuo nti. Ye nsi anya ensa no adwuma yetimi ye bibia ma ye ho.
Enti said the GIZ pani a omo boa ma adwumadi akoso oka no. Oma ye hyehyɛ se ye nuanom gentiti wi a obese di akire na niema obehia de start adwuma wabo om. Godfrey Danim Medin Oyerepa television.
Ye begina ensemi so na de waye fo ne aban de aba wo de beboa sebe woni adi dem e wo honam ani se ne be ya sresre no ne obraboni bi bo enam se komo ho nti enipa sadwuma ni fie a bibia obefa so de benya sika no wo de befa ye ne sa na se dwuma wo ho no munya bi no mo ya ebema ne o ma bi afiri ho kra ama asetire mu akoyi de ama wo me de si anama sorry na ye de health and lifestyle abeto so me de Akua Asieduaa Madam nyina se Christ asomdwe nkam
Ebusuan mamache Akwa eba health and lifestyle so na bidi de na nama intifo mitnemu ama PSC ladi anope ye ba bedi enkomo e de afa stroke ho na enwema hodo a eya akofa stroke yade no e de ba no bi se sebi wonum tobacco anasata ana wi ya krampo a the chances of getting stroke no high no kre ana se enye no kre ye ne pani ebedi nkomo e wo ho na afi wa kire ye me yehu se wonum ta susu ampa se betumi aboa ana ka se e kanwoma eboaboa no ma wonya stroke no ho a eno nkomo ana no pe ye ba abedi na san no yemfa seda e ma Kojak farmer se ono nkwa na akofa proko de dro aba se ohwirimu so nso ohwirimu asisi wonya kata onoma ebetumi aboa ma etusa pol kodi yare no ase ene etipaye no edi efri ho sanso ene wakofa Kojak charcoal toothpaste edi aba se wosen enye de yana se wo obi a wosen enye fita wosen nkanka ewo wase a ama wosen ho aye brown am wo Kojak charcoal toothpaste no etwitwu sorry odi twitwu san eboa ema wosen eye fita na ema na hodin sronko nso sanso ena wo Kojak regular fluoride toothpaste nso ewo ho a ene nso etumi eboa ema wosinya hodin na afi ema wonum eda ho na okasagu nipa so ana se wo de cereal asia okwan sanso ena wo Kojak mouthwash ewo ho ene nso so utwitwu wosiwia odi toothpaste utwitwu wosiwia na wo de mouthwash nso so abohuru wenum na etumi aboa ma wosi enya hoden na aye fita nti Kojak nka na wote anase mekanfo ede ama anopai na wo pedudro metu anase wo pomochira kwanya omo nkran okanshi drug lane sanso so ena kumase ha omo keyetia na fret number 0531 069945 0531 069945 ana 0531 070020 0531 070020 eno no eye Kojak farmer omo line a ope omundu panu bi etu na afenso so anaso omo toothpaste no so ope bi ato a obetumi enya na etumi abo sebe ya wosen ebetumi ayede na code yare anase pepu a aba begina wo so no etumi etu asenta no pay Kojak enka anase Kojak enhudero ena mabo de ama no pe omundu pani bito na entumi embo na yani Ebenezer Opon or deputy training coordinator at the Sports Stroke Fast Foundation ono na no pe ye ne bedi nkomo na wa kire ye ma ye hu se asusu ampa se wo fa tobacco anase wonom ta etumi bua etwetwe wo ko stroke yadwe no ho anase wobetumi enya stroke debi a san nkomo na e ba bedi na no pe na nka wo se o join ye wo studio so ha so bibi nti wentumi amba medru na ye bekwa homa no so ene no akwa akodi enkomo Ebenezer, good morning. Okay. Enti yabekwa homa no so na ye na akwa kodi enkomo nyoma hodo pi na amanfo no eya edi stroke yade no edi bro mo na stroke no krampo amanfo ka se se bi yempanimfo yade wunyini du mfie so a wonya be 80 70 na wonya stroke ni bisa no na tete no anasa kane no na ewo ho enei entesa enei nyoma sesa abofra kwa na say youth no kra enya stroke no mo de na ye no wrong, what are we not doing right no nti ama enei youth no so stroke yare no etumi eba omoso yedidie eka ho ye na eka ho enuane basa yedie ensa basa ye no enu ma hodo pi na ye ya adokotafo na say nimdifo echese eboa ama anase ma stroke yade no we youth anase beguna chances of getting it higher nti no ho komo ana no pay ye ba abedi na ya hwese saade no den kwanpa ne betumi de afaso kwanpa ben the youth no betumi afaso ebeboa ama stroke yade no etumi eyi omakwa na se efiri omakwan mu a emme omokra na ka stroke de sebi ka wodi be 90 80 ekọ wenim na chese sebi woji na ewo no satam na wodi nchine boto kra wi woji na ewo no na first no na eyomo edi nti ene na youth no so yare no ebeja yeso anase yare no ebemben youth ne sa yebedi san komo no opani ne be kyerɛkyerɛ me yate ase a yebehu kwan yebefa so a yebetutu yanam yebehu kwan yebefa so a yebedidi yebehu kwan yebefa so a yebeda ye yebehu kwan yebefa so a nneoma bi ho se yeye anase yeye a this stroke ne ba ye hwe ho e de efisa nneoma no ho o se ye exercise regularly ana se o se ye tentene apomu empempia yetumi aye amena boye sanso so na anuane pa o se yedi ebreben na o se yedi no sade ne nyina opani no eba be kyerɛkyerɛ ama yehu na yate ase na etumi aboa ama stroke yade no so yeyina kwa e de efi yakwan mu yentumi enyina kwa nanso eden ya yebetumi asososo ano se be ya emebunu no entumi enya yekwa ahoma no so na ene owura Ebeneza Opon or deputy training coordinator was Sport Stroke Fast Foundation akudin komo ye reben memo achi o.
Yeah, mommy. Good morning.
Good morning. Na bibi aboko de.
Yankopon adom na onso.
Yankopon adom. Yenso ye hu ye. Na mimbisa tobacco anasa ta ye numia any stroke twaka ban na ewo.
Yo mommy. Me that say. Na we dey master Akua Asieduaa but just put that what dey that. Na ye got the tobacco and tobacco and stroke. I was in transforming connections with. Now, tobacco in the first place, you know, there was a plant, airport, they use it for medicinal purposes and herbal purposes. And plants is only used, and they are used. Now, you have tobacco plants now, there were chemicals there, 7,000. He has about 7,000 chemicals. Now, that 7,000, it moves 70 from the American Cancer Society, it moves 70, and it's in prostate cancer. Now, you find that 70 chemicals now, which is a star, cool star, in the patient. And I wanted to have a was like what patient say for the nicotine. Now, nicotine, and no, and what to bank with food but the nicotine, any other 70% tobacco, then the 40% anymore, and they had it. Over nicotine, nicotine is a patient. The official just was the nicotine. Who was the amount of I addicted. And it's the one said, yeah, a woman that smoking any other tobacco. Yeah. Or no man, and plain pin, if one man was to be double the attract, smoking causes cancer, smoking does this, smoking it destroys the liver and all that. But you won't say, so now I'm so being there because tobacco is very addictive. Which I just say, of course, I also do that. This is our hospital, my wife. Now, Danny question, so tobacco good at that's the Coney president one. The decline and the bank and blood pressure not possible. In the sense that when you get the tobacco and nicotine, it's something we call constriction. And my aim I can't one. In cleaner, a pipe for now, which I'm not. Study and the case, the nicotine is really president one, and my near one. And I answer the Diana from the Soviet piano. Nyaninonia wani nyanostani yani ewote akomano edit pressure e wotro na ebo na simi ababa ko abafani nyina nche sana e ma pressure na e kuja nimno e komso ene sama hat e kosho na pressure e kosho na hypertension na wunya na the fast stroke ya ke tanya e masto e ba hypertension. Okay. Tobacco na say o smoke biara no the all from living and none person control and the condition the trust to person because plan and hypertension is some say yeah man back from that a photo I that Emma Winya ya na tobacco product not just tobacco it connection and next to everyone. I think to the number. First and second show. The first and second show. Nothing. A man when you're the arena.
Obi beka se ne nana kra num tobacco ni bia fiti and youthful age and say ne onim ne nana na se ne nana no ya abofra ne nyina be so 20s mu na onum tobacco ni bi ne nana enyini edru 90 years stroke am meche no enti na oba beka che ne se so ono de onum bia stroke betumi abeche no and me sample embisa se obi num tobacco ni bi na se onye hypertensive eno so betumi ama nya stroke ana se se wonom tobacco ni me na we hypertensive nkwa na obetumi enya stroke
yo bela antem be say this time now okase obi e ho ti because the na no bia na se ko be bia no ma we ya stroke bia ni ade yo se eti ase ni pedria no se no bia di different obo no ma ni mo obo no ma ne black vessel emoting expose tobacco products and products check account and sana what are there so obo ono so already ni pediana ni modern black vessel ni modern it's no of fun ga ke about the no nya it's the fact that who pediana so na ono na so why that Oyerepa when that interested the whole part.
Okay. Okay. Nti masambi sa
the one way you now do when you study in the class. I know what you want to understand na akan. And I think if I said at the design of talking you don't know be something to know. With a person one and to carry no papa. And I said make time to bank with our cancer that should be like we never can say that cancer agent with a corny pedema affecting pedano hard degree. So the tobacco corny pedana a self kidnap. And no to me that is a blood pressure because the water kidney me everyone my blood pressure but the tobacco and I smoking so you kidney that a self kidney la the dream onya with your blood hypertension yeah come tobacco to be for see I really the power to travel there it's me at the color of the thing no more to be better it's me more thing it's in at the color of the thing everything na come if there was a chance that say tobacco na good as I was here CM film because it has been the anymore I was to so the what the anymore if you have to that I say or how to do yes to no to be there account na say mo current you know adia ba ko yes the different kind of tobacco products I have tobacco no I am cigar but present you know I am shisha and na man tell member one because they fit I don't be a flavor degree I know they need to Zambia I don't know I am than but thank you she want my to say the offer shisha man mostly lasted for about 40 to 1 hour. The offer shisha now that's the now fire it to me put me at more than 100 sticks of cigarettes. And so now one fast shisha now it is a osha that officer of the degree not the one to 5 that one to get to and now on here maybe I want to keep back yes but the offer shisha now internet they say what to come okay 100 and I said the post Akuma no at the group not as a ever war fact with danger great na
okay
is that more in na so like how the problem it be my liver problem it me Emma we understand as any man we na basically ama wanya
Okay. Okay. Era abedeza upon ye na wase na ye fa wu ensi ha ebre pemu na se bre foforo enkomo bi ba e wo stroke yade no ho a ye beba wo nche na ye ne wa betwetwe na wa kyerɛkyerɛ ye da se papa hapa. Era Ebenezer upon Deputy Training Coordinator Sport Stroke Fast Foundation ona no pay ye ni di nkoma wa kyerɛkyerɛ ye no na mame fa happy birthday Emma Benes Asiedu wo adwoso krapa we are Chief Executive Officer Emma Splash B Stitches ewo adwoso asanwase. Happy birthday to Benes Asiedu wo adwoso krapa we are penny kwankyerɛfo a wo da Splash B Stitches ewo adwoso asanwase wona we are penny kwankyerɛfo a wo da no Benny ako yakopon show wate na ontene nim show no ma de a wo ye bia enwie ye ebusia ha na ebrema kwan my the health and lifestyle no esi midin ede nanama entifo anopai mitnemu ede ma PSC la de Kwesi Park Awards ayakrado or the OBT agenda ebetwa so madam ase amommo no hwa abrow Oyerepa TV.
So, maybe you do your OBT agenda. That's Oyerepa breakfast time agenda. And the Kwesi Park Wilson. Now, Anopedia, you PM or if you can see him, the KFK managers at the seat of government and Yaba. Now, there's a young man I anybody didn't come up. He's been a former deputy information minister. He said, no, Kase, the way MP or Abra Sebu Command Kase in the central region. na se sia de dipo dipa government communications or minister in charge of government communication. MP and also minister Felix Kwasi is my guest this morning. Honorable Akwaba.
Yeah, near Paka.
No, but we have a code here.
Yamiado, Majlis also no.
Yamiado, Yamiado, na also is to say.
Oh, Yamiado, my way boko.
The way boko.
Say, another pay number figure by. Yeah, I feel a Yankupadum, yet me a parliamentar. Yeah, yes, she say, Ebebuana, media, what do I see in this way? Say, Idigua Punoso. Na ahotoni mpuntu eba impeso ane so so a ye de modwumata nche bia no be hunse mpuntu sonkokra ba ni pasiti mu abrase mu kwamankese eno ane botaye nti a betu me hu si wo se omuntu aba na
because I mean the no reading ko say adwuma no so a nti unya time creative ko consensus kwa consensus adwuma
oh me acha na otwe mienu bia no
oh I see
sanse answer na me be yeso afọ na me member of parliament nti mean to me nkasa say my best wafo ni ntino na parliament edman ye twega nti bom ho modem ya say message memre say na be ya menya bre aye edwuma ya say me nyina say na me edwuma miensa me yo mampeni kasa mafo
right
me san so ye aban de wo bonyina ntemugina ni
na correct
ana me san so ye parliament nti me ka miensa nyina abom edwuma metumi aye nti
I see now we dey yen say yen komase na no pay na Ghana for the donor eboma baso the ka endisa ban eboma baso se adeba committee na say CD no na ho de no mabom de say epeja na dollar na ho de no eba for but there's a concern say mo betimi assassin na even there's a viral video of Samije V or is your good bosses here I work say abandon no betimi amasigiti mejina so based on that people are saying that this is just a 9-day wonder. What's the assurance and parity major under this administration?
Back at the attorney said, main young compon quich.
With you.
Once I wish NDC and to avoid born after 2024 about Ununa. The na yet through pa na you said Dagan of Wakuma so pine or manis Casemona as a tia pansa majija. A sign a modern ma MPP by no more homodins. Right. Omoma Ghana is a 70 cry, Ekodum Pensovia. Na nipa omodo musika abo aban bosia Ghana for omodo obeye opepe ba ko ne ahame empema hamiensa 1.3 million bondholders aban ka se enya de obetumi ti omoka nti hu na sika omodo ba obosia na ese ti omo no aban ntumi nti anti otwe ebra ese otie sika no ema wo mo no kwa akire na nsi hu no so te so nti de ahokire ebra Ghana for bibire nti ma ahokire ba papa ohia ne abebese e ba Ghana enu echi no the benefit no cost of living eye asetena mu buo eno so cost ko hwiri ekogina mpempenso bia na eye dem pa wo be ko dwuma no pa no wo ko bisa de bia no a wo be ko fie beba wi ano na ebo no ekoso nti na Ghana for tete Ghana for ha eye open efe no government statistician na sabre no oda statistical service ano eye aban hwehwemu enkura bata no odi betu dwa se afi 2023 esa ya ho kira na abaga na nti no nipa maako apepepe nwotwe ene ekirepo empim ahenum 8.5 million ene omubu adadako ano mu ne aduane di se wo che Ghana nipa dodo mu a se wo che mu enan a emu baako no nti se wo ko du ebra nipa dodo ete sa no 8.5 million enye aduane ni a na onso ma na agba ne sa eye dollar eya buchi sika Ghana sika cedi ene ne di atentam a eno na nipa dodo na di dwa wo amansan dwa so no eno so hwi ko gina asoro a eye July 2022 na ukita 6 cedis a unya dollar ba ko true if you have no kopim November 2022 afina unya 17 cedis that's true as unya dollar ba ko me susu se sabre no and Ghana for your margin say MPP abano mutu abediti awo the friend inflation kwanya niema bo efa so kosoro wa no so na efiri kugina ohanche mu aduonum and 54% and the friend hyperinflation woko Zimbabwe ni ade a eno na nti na woko dwa so a wokota ade anopa obebe wi ano na ebo no asa kosoro nti ema ho kire baaye paa ni mpenifo a onbeto 83 ekomkese ene ahokire ba Ghana no kire mu a de bae year MP
2024
na enu 83 billion.
Oh really?
So we fan say year ope and as a drought ba year dey bia nesem ehun I coach my buy na. So we show Ghana sikasem na. The kinds of hardships among for fair musabe. At least under the Fourth Republic, it been see that. Until now, any one say the Padudo now so sikasem into to your economy. Any idea your power, but in fact, every poll I end this year, no. Next year, no number one issue, and any someone in Yama for power. Independent polls are other organizations, so yeah, no such as one idea. Hantina, and when you say NDC. Yabeya shepa na yede gu apono so na de broni fe no cost of living any hardships ahokyere aba no yebe ye front wo hwe ye manifesto mu a eye kratafa edikan no ano ye hyase e kan be a friend social contract the people of Ghana the first item and one of the first items I want no eye kwan be fa so ye betoto sikasem ama ahokyere aba Ghana for so na kofo na ye hye no so se eye yesi kasem ne amanoni si kasem kita hodi e fe no exchange rate eno na eya de kese ba ko a e de sa ho hye no e ba sa se koso a esa se ye kra ne madodo na fi amanoni nti no wohia sika dodo sika podu ansa na wetumi akokra e ba ne sa a omo akodi sa edwa no ekofa ne mamba no no mo de bo no abrebe ne omienu na ama ye ho hye nti ye se ye be bibia fa na ansa na obetumi etu asemi ho anamo no e se woti ase ana e se wo hu senti a sa ho kire no ba in the first place say wo ka Ghana ye exchange rate regime na ade a eye o how kase pa wo any the imbalance between demand and supply.
Okay,
eye benkro a eye nipa dodo a ehwehwe se sika no any dodo e wo hwere be mo no enkontira impempi no ebo ebra kase pa eno nti esa say etese wo phone yekita we say omo yes afọ omo ye mienu pa ne bo no be cost response nipa dodo na epe nti nipa o ye phone no obetu no buo mu akoso nti say wo pay dollars akodi dwa na ebi ni ho a kakra wo no ne bo no be cost nti ye demand and supply especially because of Ghana etosu mienu the benefit no lack of confidence say nipa enigidi wo omanis kasam tutu mu no enu nti no omo nya akokudro mfom sika mehye Ghana sika sem eye omo from foreign investors. It is buying a floating bonds even though a domestic bonds be at the dollars better. Na in this calculate egu afutu. Omo better sa bonds na you know mo hye say abre bia o mesusu say omo hi omo sika ne de ma o. It's part of the agreement. It is omo nya ntie say o manis kasam no nkoyie anase sikasam no ye egu a no mo de ntempa na ba be hwe sika. In fact Bank of Ghana nkasa kire say between 2022 and 2024 sika $6 billion and am no for be yifi o man we mu kwa abochi esanse no musu we so o man sika sam obo
was $6 billion
Bank of Ghana nkasa reporter o mai
see
inti lack of confidence in the economy ema nipa e de ahopepre e be twe o sika e ya ma no sika fi o man ni inti so be so sa how mienu we anu ani ma mienu na say
okay
we must restore confidence in the economy say nipa nya gidie biom
economy
o man sika sam tutu but also you must resolve the demand and supply problem say nipa per dollars a so munya bi ekodi dwa e ba ne sa na the price will remain stable and I say the city will appreciate inti eden na is ye tumi ebegina befe so e
right
ye manifesto ye ka say be efe no gold board say wo fa koko a emre a wo kire say ye koko board pe e na betumi ato koko efie kuafo wakoton na manone nti wo ye kuani a na wo do koko a wontumi mfa koti kwan so nkoton so yesa weti amra hyewa wo ba kwatwe abankuku
exactly
the sa ni nti no efim na tintin bebre for decades ekuafo no edom koko na no mote aba na omoton ma koko board na koko board akoton na manone no menya dollars it afibia roughly $2 billion at least in the last 15 years or so $2 billion and eba o man for that is dollars na Bank of Ghana aje dollars no amma ekuafo cedis o ma koko board cedis e de ama ekuafo nti then ni enya dollars kakra e de agu yefutu na mo ba gold na ehye sa ni ho edi kan omo a ebetu gold wa ha aye enyumaku akese a omo no omo nsam obi omo tu gold no ehye wo no emu nye du papa nti emu fa dodo na no omo koto na manone omo nye sika no so a na omo de kwa abuchi they say they repatriate it the says can media futu etoso me no omo a eye gold ho adwuma a omo anyuma nkete from small scale miners no omo so bibie emra bie no we show omo say omo fa sa ade no mra ban nti omo afa omo kwan so ekokoton na manone nti obete no na yese Ghana gold na Dubai ne bo be $4 billion afi bia na so says can emeso nti yete na so hwe say si ye hye bi te se kokko bode no na yetumi to sa gold ni fi small scale miners no kwa na ye ne enmeku akese no so ye hyehyei na ye to gold ni bi ka ho a se aban mom true gold board ekoton na manone a na ye nya dollars a eno no beba oman no futuo mu sense sika no obekodi ankrankra bi nche nti gold bond emra no kire se ne se wuton uye small scale man na wutu gold ha it is only gold board that can market the gold export na ometumi enya amanoni sika de aba nti gold board omugi cedis fee Bank of Ghana no be atosa gold no omakoton na amanoni omenya dollars e dey abre Bank of Ghana the Bank of Ghana the bigu the ebonife no external reserves na foto a ye de no nsu atwen ope na the aka no so ye de aba amansendwa so that's the forex market into $1 no we bi ato na de aka no so ebedi aban ho a yetumi de etua aka eye amanoni sika eye afi ahyese bosomi a eto edi ho a eye be ye 9 no from January to April na sika efi sa gold export ma by $2.7 billion. $2.7 billion into si anya sa hyehyɛ na ngasa sika no entumi mba see eye bi no si o your gold reserve program at MP before they buy. So, bomb your cracker. See, if you mention so 1 ton come on fanka reserve no. See, what not drain the policy na man is. The tell about me obi abehye so. Say e ba say yen kasa trada e wo man this kasa mu a nedwuma odi ano. Okasa bebrebe 2016 so wonim de e wo kasa mu so ye de o man this kasa mu share nsa as head of economic management team. O man this kasa mu boy. For the first time ewe yabakwase mu no yentumi entua eka ye de amanone ene Ghana fo ya bobosia we defaulted eno na de oman no sikasem ahokyere eba ye so it was by Omia's fault. He collapsed the Ghanaian economy. Oh, he was the finance minister. He was the head. But you see, it is one of the reasons I'm giving Ghana for 2 man. Nobody believed him. He lacked credibility. Because on one position, on one catch there and say he was the man President Akua Asieduaa. In fact, in the whole MPP government, Openia Oyerepa and Nsuasa, President Akua Asieduaa. He is the ultimate authority in the MPP government. On one catch there and say Okwafa ba Omia bai some remedy to Ghana sikasem. Indeed, President Akua Asieduaa called Parliament in March 2018. Ekobom Dr. Bami Abaso said, no nim dear any hunu any sikasem to papa wa ye nti na Ghana sikasem na gine yi. Nti se ekoye dia e ba omia na niam kwa ahyewa eno no enye ono nti oni so beka si we yes you lack credibility obi enu mu gidi eno nti no mu di nku wo poto ete sa eno nti na Ghana fo anto abama no to abama apedama because they saw say he lacked courage, he lacked conviction. Just say nechi na basemu nyedu oni akukuduru abeji atumi say we dey ma mom ho model obi o tesa nyan for man chenensa so that must he was the head of the economic management team. Sir Edumekuo no finance minister and a day-to-day management. But by Omiankasa Kachire and say, indeed, Omoba around 2017-20 video no or say every week the economic management team this year to Ghana Sikasam. Yeah. And it is a stellar team. Obama Baso. Ebo Mosafo hine say omonim di omo de bi mada. Nti eba ne say no man is gasem say dia. Wo se anoyem fa so bo no kobo bi fofo. Na ne ma ko yie dia eye wa. Nipa kro ya o se enye ono na ohwe Ghana sikasem no. O se ono an this gold reserve policy buy, right. Nti how is it possible say you are not in charge of economic policy yet you can commandeer the Bank of Ghana to implement the gold reserve through the permission of the president?
the tacit endorsement any approval of a mampeni
Akufo no person Ghana sika sem na say na etete pansam na Ghana fo ebo no sobo eni nti ba o me awonim de na mu ama ne kwan se onye does it make asem we to aso it was a catastrophic failure nimdia na omunni ene ehye bone a omoye yenti a na ba o me adi mu akotene eno nti na ba de sa so he say he is in no position to even report say or be chire bibia for Ghana sika asem sisi a given see 2016 na no ma ba mu da he will have a leeway we have a to so but sisi a we've had the full measure of him right the bubble and before for being no other kind of but I'm coming back to Sabo reserve
but I'm also making the point that studies and economies they still now won't control the cancer of course the economy
yes you are one
your trust you know analyze
your Ghana I mean right any is but yes you are one kind say you better ni pana bakosem and we are bakosem we are tete bakosem we
are recent one
just a few years ago and no nti no oka asem bia say we MPP fanatics MPP etitafo every one the average reasonable person on the street obi asem say be asa na ni da ho fan a enya amanyosem na o hwa aka asem no enya de obi nya na mugidie
I see
because his record is abysmal I don't know we know enya bosremuka everybody has seen him but over gold reserve policy na as it say Bank of Ghana if we tete omoto gold see because bonus gold a store of value gold say net yen say person say bonus a precious metal a year dadia ho year 99 ni padodo na pinti no ene so ka so gold na wo ton be nyin pa manato am go nyama no sika right into one of the ways that you convince investors say omo pom sika o menya and say wo gold reserve some gold sa gold reserves a Bank of Ghana wono egu Bank of England vote mu ewo enlesi abochimemo ahim kro land
I see
any Ghana hapo but it was a measure just to signal so say musika na ewa ha no say mopa ye ton go ni na ye benya dia mama but it is not the same as enhancing the beneficent liquidity and ne say wo koton gold enya ma no sika be show man no nya pe they are different matters gold ni go ha that itself does not give you dollars
sure
it's a good Bank of England no omonton 1 ton omonton 1 ton into a mile $1 into good Bank of England as a store of value but $2.7 billion for America no and you go there you ton the last ton one if it's a gold one they don't buy gold to give to Bank of Ghana to keep in the reserves omonto gold ton so that we have liquidity foreign exchange
I see
send a demand and supply as one mekan no ebetumi abetumi into wo per dollars a obenya bi into dollars a ebu edwa no so nti ene ama ehun nkohia se omo a eton dollars o meton na aboden ena afi so nipa dodo na enya gidie wo omampani mama ene ori ato force finance minister ene Bank of Ghana governor omo ensese omo ye wo Ghana sikasem ho ene gold bond share no ena afi no omenya abotoye mo se omo metwe musika and tentem emfi Ghana in any event says our gold reserve policy no no want to me my o man's kasem gina adenti na dollar no could do 17 cents
at the time I see
so who gold go yet your currency is at 17 cents to a dollar nti we no boni say in Congress and to assume wo can see me in see
o ka say just a quick correction what's the gold board for no apart from some ton gold no from no omo Bank of Ghana be some fancy
say forex bar what happens is that omo sika na omo dey adwuma no if you are buying ho nti omo nya dollars omo dey Bank of Ghana no ma cedis
okay
because gold omo turn in Ghana ha in cedis in addition to that omo ne me no ka say answer na eba bem na at least 7 large scale mining companies
right
so omo to gold omo yemu 20% omo dey ma ban ye ba ye yasani omo ye hwefofo say additional 9 companies into they can we be 16 companies omo man 20% of gold production na yen to small scale dey nka ho nkoton na ma no ne yen fiscal no mra
okay
and that is how it works and the gold board because this kana part of it goes into our reserves
but Philip the big question is idea moye because though it's true say dollar no the cost from cedi no na what dey gina but omo ton nyoma no omo ntiti omo nyoma so obi sankofobia and even some of the experts say in fact Fitch predict still na see no na what they be from they are predicting around $15 to $1 by the end of the year. After 4 is doing about $14 to $1 by the end of the year. It's a month for say we ain't mean because when you start paying contractors cannot undercut Bruchenia. So a young thing as you know, 10 nacono, a record 12, record 13, record 14, which is my gun from show and I'll pay here. And we get there now.
As a finance minister, say, Ojidi Mapa, say a bejina.
Yeah.
Send them catch liquidity, because of the gold board arrangement. Gold board is institutionalized. I am restless here. Gold board and go baby. So they will be there. They will still continue to purchase gold and export.
So they are not seeing gold now. It's money at the end.
Many say
I'm forecast no.
Many say you know based on say they go up. Say wutia sikama omo abandi omo car. I don't know interested necessarily your currency is going to go out of gear. And I said, no, spending. No, there's no guarantee that they will spend in dollars.
Right.
These are local supplies. In any event, says our supplier no, a reliable source of foreign exchange. No one in your demand. In the past, CHS Canada forex 1 year and as $1 1 year, and I'm not one cost. But there's an arrangement in place. If we there will be inflow of dollars to resolve whatever demand. The problem we have a demand and supply. Once that is breached, say or how be anyone.
I see. For another pay, many honorable Felix Kwasi for so anything come or Minister of course in charge of government communications, more concerns to say see because I'm not for say this year come and then Ghana there in Ghana for so bad. A year then now the best perform you not or see Yakotos say because of the policy of the abadi the Bijano, the one the Bijana, and yet they're sitting now then the perform sad. I mean, maybe a bit flat to get to him, but still now they're maintaining at that level. Not all kind of the other period. Now you feel what about Naba and not pay any over the weekend and weekend in arrest of Chama want to Yaya Shanti regional MPP chairman. I'm not too happy with government. Say, I mean, this is somebody who been him say, or your business number chroma. Or Ghanaian ye, what shall I pay 50 million bill bond? And that tone so just to persecute the man. Sana by the Yana.
Edikaino, I buy in each Shabia say, over time of the year. Ghana, I'm rich, say, and found one who can see away your mind. Say, in Penifone, Omo Edem Raya Juma. Omo Yat and Tin Juma is to say, why you be at your mind, I say, Omo would didn't send your manage. Yet Ghana. There be a local police station. I should be on that counterback this year. And now that's it. Yeah, try to see baby. Yeah, born to a 2024. I dear back one. Nagana for the doing in a G2 say it what is so Ghana happen for any catastrophe. Any security, any security, Basa, near Coso, our MPP pencil. And I brand on Wabem. And until you should be by a friend operation cover all routes. I actually say why BB is a fat pro any catastrophe dream one. A idea you bet one until back our man mama. Or say boss or bar. For any catastrophe idea of a committee and the day. Answer no be man penny, you two about any year now or train Abefu Kunyakasian. And it miss you Kunyason. What says our or a cool? Some Munyan Menoka say, and some for Makumaka, a ham you no need watching 280 cases. And there, or for the Ebediah buys a winning, you are my yah, who should be room as yes, I am. And which the Menoka Nipa it was soon. As I choose a gonna be 65, and it was soon. And in Penifatuans after or more at the 2 men, maybe you cried in a quarter, Yabom church. Sky train, the and saying a quarter. If you want to media, no, and you be this from coach, say. A year, a buying. I'm running for penny. Nabedi or the 2 Ghana say and then answer. Say almost to say to me, I am maybe a fair dream the point catastrophe. Now, Empono almost answers to say, as a debut or say, a year a shame beer, a bedin and channel, I'm far more quans on the buy. Inti Menoka say, I'm an only phobi. I almost win some law enforcement officials, some year a pussy for ehuntekunfo mo yenhwemu amana ne so ene Ghana aban yi din kita ho se saa ensensem we fa hye no so omo nwum hwehwem emrama ho kwan se aposifo ana yoko ana OSP ana edumekuo bia e wotumi se eya asem bia hwehwemu ehwehwe wo a omutumi to nsa frew omutumi so ebechew the friend arrest the here so me famra kwan so Ghana ha no se police ni a oye above I think superintendent obechew a wo hia warrant ntubetu aba ofie se paka misu se why body nti me police superintendent mana me rank no was so superintendent nti machew bese ne yonko obetu bi so afa phone afra se paka asem say na yesu se ohubo mu nti no bra nti e ma wo ebrese ana brebe na wosusu betumi aba no me why hye nti se wontumi ko police na opie na yokofo susu se omu hia no no mo famra kwan so omo warrant Ghana there be a goes for chairmanfo I agree said omo ekoche said omo ekowi asabe mponche ne body ne banche apose for koche wo and am ran so kire se emfa wo no kase a wo ye nyina ye pe wo mra nanim nti so obi wi aponche ne ekoche no na obi susu se wakwaje bosia e wa ban dwumekuo bi ho se odi koye efuo na wentu anfa anye nti obi yi ne ho ano a menyi ni se ye che na enyi yi me nya ne se mesre de nya ne se e famra kwan so de se obi sa se kwan a yokofo fa so ye ne famra kwan so ana eti amra se bi wontumi obi bo no so bi amwa
eyewitness for see then the phone crowd no ship the phone no more like an abuse of his right and be finding some dragging if you can that's the eyewitness no more kati
abofo fe be minimal force and a reasonable force nti wo de ahode osusu se be boa mo achi nipa no na ye adwuma wo ko twa aban kokumu a emra ne kire se aban penefo no ewo donhwede aduanan nwotwe se omodo be court akobo okwedu ana akoka bibia kire court no enya se so mugya ma okofi se sa do nhwere aduanan nwotwe ana na mienu no so omutumi ma obew se kɔ na yehia wa ebe san afrewo na mom ansa na obetumi nya otiri mu saa no e wo se omoye hyehye ya ebe ma omonya abotoye mo se omu hia wa mo sabeka nti ye free bibi bail bond ana se surety nti wo paka semina asem sa to me na isa so ya madam fotim se opaka asem ato me nti bra na begidi mu egine mu nti wo ba wo se opaka boni a waye no se yesese ni nyina ne bo no ifa se 10 cedis nti se ne be ye benya rehemu se ye hwehwe nipa na esa beka no no kofa ejapade a ne bo no be ye 12 cedis bra se ne be ya se bibi nti yensa nka na se ye ton se ejapade na ye esa beka se esika nti wo ye sure with wo gina mama nipa na se wo esan se wo nim ni nti no se aban hwe na wo bebo moden se wo de ne beba ana se omo sa kan nti wo hwe bone ya impedifo no se waye ani sika e wo mu na ba ko bi kura wo mo se ye ma no contract se onye kwan ne bo no ye 45 million Ghana cedis na mu su se onye kwan ya ne bo no som sa
onko wa chirem so no ade sika na ye wo chirem no de media fa kasa
no problem iti abia no so na so kokota obetumi de sada sige na tudwa
you are right
but e aban asudi ana aban penifo na asudi se on be hwe sam pa sam wo kan ye no kra na nchimo de ba no se de to aso mu ana iti wo hwe se bi e kwan no bo 45 million Exim Bank loan $10 million se ne kra na wo kana is about 100 million Ghana cedis ene other ones wo mo kana ne bo no wo so enti ye ma wo sika omususu se sa sika no bibi nti wenzu na be di aban futuo mu a at least so oha na no kakra Ghana ha wo yo me yama no 54 million Ghana cedis bill
no correct
obi wo Ghana ha yama no 1 billion bill
na one
yes
I remember
nti we enye bill a eso se ne bibia
ese mo sheda get the chiche no se na be ya se no kase order yoko
for enko ma me ni wudi maka sika e was asem no ma kire ba ko 45 million ba ko $10 million
it is 50 extra for you
so admase
50 million
extra proportional bonus omo hwe boniye no en sika wo mu no e na omo de aka asem so admase nti say the sanse no to na wo akwanya so benya nipa mo meji ngina mu a ye be mo akofie se se de obi a ko police station na ya kasko belina bail conditions you must meet it nti se me no ka say de yoko oma yo ma fa mu de so okay ya tena say ye no ma ye nhye say ye hia sure with is ametumi de ejapade ane bo so 50 million abia enti ye te say enra owi abra champion
right
or the ejapade te say no buy na mo ebre buy ni ntina yokofo ntumi nya ho adwuma eno kra no ya san te say MPP for gari ni makon wasa court say court anti
bond so
eno kra because of the pendency of that case say what court kwanze ntumi po ntumi na mo enti mpese me kire mo say sabi enye aban de say obi trade na kukum aban nya ya nkabo ne ye bi ensipo esan say ye nhwemu a ye ko be nyina aban kra boka ho nti ye mom de ye nya aka nya nkabo ne bi ensi na mo boni ni si a aban so de say ye be hwe ne ye nhwemu na obi edifo a ya hwe na so ye aban bi oba ga na bi aso de MPP for wa ba mu no they used to do this routinely. I don't mind chini pa Ghana.
Of course, I would chini pa.
Some of you man china to police CID for several hours. And I'm say a day or two. Kokwa you do one man chino.
Yeah.
Ori to force. I don't mind fana go jina court. Collins I don't want fana go court. Che go for that me ato force asem no. Wo enye say bia equalization na bibi. But say what MPP for a. Why be me say be Ghana no ankwa na man no. Yeti. Che ato force asem no.
Yeah.
Second defendant, Dr. Sylvester Animana, now or your former chief director of health ministry. Some ambulance are some abra, Yadina, Yache Noa, Yadino court. Now or Yaria Bibri, or was serious kidney problem. Now on Tiasum, some periods and only this one year. Or to wheelchair, Nifie, a fencing, Quabinechi, and Opebia or foot short, at wheelchair. Eba court but now several hours now our agent need to go and do a kidney transplant but for that mean go jina court abrebia e be friend say omra doctor mu no na ontumi po nkasa and yet go for that took him to court. The man sat in a wheelchair in court obi a wo kidney serious kidney problem or hearing impairment neni so hu ade papa and yet MPP aban hu no mobo e di no go jina court yet and now what you o ma say omo no they didn't even touch a fly. That was how callous they were. It's more ding. No. They took Ubia. No, was serious health problems to court. Victor Salome.
Yeah.
Oh, in prison.
Yeah.
At the time that he was in prison, I Professor Fempom Watting, heart surgeon, and a general one. Let the MPP not speak. As if say they are too wound to be seen. In any event, and yet you see a dancy and I ever. You was so dear, sir, by say, will be a baby society. You two one among due process. Your family are pounds of pepper any day. But you see, Sasemusia, you will come you know, your fashion.
It's you.
You can use sobriety, cool heads.
Yeah.
You can also use a hot-headed approach. It was your MPP, won't you mean a lawyer who is calm, composed, and measured. Oni you phone reading it and press obenya the client no fan who did the man. And you why before this one to say asem we have an intino. I say omodijin do base into the go engage in theatrics. How does a minority leader any MPs which a parliament was say oh back
to parliament
and you no abetina for mesu say obi aya fam na kwan so aso ne mu enye say bia paka wo ka asem ne e che wo na edo akoto mu ntino. You can solidarize in those ways. Right. But in what way has Wuntumi been denied his rights? He has legal representation. The lawyer is going back and forth. Lawyer na prayer ko nya nipa mienu. Say o me gina muma na onya bill. And when you speak to his lawyer, he is calm about the whole process.
Yeah.
Of course, and you be others will be able to but me nya yanka boni yinsi so that it doesn't even warrant. Say we Wuntumi ko defiase ya infa so aban be nya ndio. Except that we must fight corruption. MP before, when they were in power, I believe that they thought they had responsibility to fight corruption. So they took people to court. Dr. Puni, I'm going to go in court 7 years. 7 years, maybe why? And I said, now, Dr. Puni, I'm going to say, you are going to know any back. But see, so why the effort to create the impression say, BB Akosu, I didn't see your man back was and I say, etc.
Because you see, only the middle class, you know. See, I mean, these are some of the things in terms of trouble. Not true. It's they don't expect you. So we see Sarah will start and see Sarah is hitting the image of the government.
And you know that.
John Muhammad, the president said, it is not Sanama we send
first of all, I brought Mama here promise of oral.
Right.
If I oral makes me like I say. So we 24-hour economy fewer in terms of campaign promises. Na a year popular power, Ora was number 1. The middle class of Ghana insists that corruption must be fought. Why are you not speaking to them on a daily basis?
Of course, okay.
I didn't hear social media. So who are these middle class workers on the food because who to me has been taken through? How can you say Obia is this why you're born? You yourself have demanded accountability. Say young Kuntia for indicators.
They have no problem with that.
Again, how no approach? What approach?
A claim of fast so can afford to book qualify. No, what approach? These are the things. Things. Minority for the good dinner, a Yoko way, a created change in that. No, if
there's a protest, how does that hit the image of the government? In any event, I've asked you which law Yoko breached. Look, there's a right to arrest. You need a warrant, and as somebody who has proper authorization and capacity must effect the arrest. Nipa yes our the why no a farmer so I the MP before. Yantiana that was sorry in 2017. No more free join na wall akoni fie. Akọ season the phones. The same thing to Kwabena. Even current Attorney General Ajini. They did the same thing. I am not sure say the middle class of Ghana are upset. Say President Obama and the government are living up to the expectations that they must fight corruption. And when he said we don't make sweeping generalizations, you can't say no. I don't think say Obi Wagana ha the nation will say a buying a quality for any that is of course, MPP as a party, there are two strands of behavior in the MPP. You want more your cool heads. Normal, and then they are the hot-headed fanatics. They are interested in politics. Almost to say that is how they sell themselves as champions of the grassroots. That is what African Americans are doing. No, but President doesn't have to approve. To me, he doesn't have the power to say Parker, why Bonia. Why every local 2 years here? No, because if you on humanitarian grounds, if you are Mama clemency and I'm a pardon. That is the power that the president has. But as the process goes on, he doesn't have power. But yes, I will book an Raso. It is only a court that can determine your guilt or otherwise. It's law enforcement agencies through Attorney General. Almost to say why a Bonia. There's a process, a time-tested process. The Akwa it does not violate any known process. In Ghana, I've asked you what exactly
the former vice president before office
because there was an agreement. Terms were reached on how Omra and the
into what buy
no, just said terms were reached. I know for a fact it was agreed. Say on there should be no crowd because the moment you do that, you create. The atmosphere you create is not conducive to the purpose of the year. Say you actually pay you don't need the whole crowd behind you as a former vice president. So the moment he breached the agreement, it was no longer going to hold. In any event, so that's the reason. In any event, 2 sureties must appear.
Right.
As far as I am aware, and as I said before, can I say Dr. Bamiadi the Papa buy. So now can you and the other person with later on learned Brandon Champo. But he brought at a time when it could not be processed. So, and I also don't think say Dr. Bamioko makes a difference in the matter.
To see how he's doing. First of all, what prevents him?
When you deny Bamian opportunity you have an agreement. Say ne will be interview. Okay, these are my terms. Brasa Brewe. Mesumeba Asa Brewe. Metna 1 hour now my na mesole kwa. Obi twa so boss say David. Me know yes na me boss bo nye. Absolutely. So he did not honor the agreement on your company for na be pay for to create the sort of atmosphere that enables offense your company for any enemy people give access to offense. In any event, for me, in any event, that is secondary. You see what
it's not secondary because he's the former vice president of the Republic of Ghana and the party chairman. It's only fair. Only fair to
a president of Ghana has been invited to NIB before under President Kufo. That was Jerry Wallace. So I don't know what the MPP is talking about. Former president of Ghana, the longest serving president in Ghana's history. Yefi Abemu sometime in 2001.
Yeah, 2001.
For making a speech at a June 4 rally, Your friend no call BNI. In fact, we recorded the conversation and played it on good on the my Poladmo chairman of Bon in Ghana in 2001.
I see.
So they are they didn't even regard the status of a former president. They actually invited him BNI and interrogated him. The witnesses were KSM, Sadano. Satana David Asante Piutu, and director of CID, I believe. They interviewed him, recorded it, and played it on Good Evening Ghana. This is about 24 years ago.
I see.
So, exactly where is the issue that is being raised here? You see, sometimes you wouldn't name Ghana back or someone. Why didn't you say the before? You see, again, some of them I just engage in political theatrics. You see, almost to say, I know now the Beijing will be, but let them not make a mistake. You see, your base is not sufficient to win your elections. You must convince the generality of the people. Say, at least in Kubu Amudi and Monsieur BBF, Memeji say, you will go there decently to go and engage officials to find out, send what to say, and do whatever you can to help him. You don't need to go and mass up. So I must just to show, say, you are mobilized. You don't mobilize your base around law enforcement. Until leaders of the MPP could have gone in sobriety. So we have this assembly and see how you can. And that is how come the lives of Brother Champone, the first thing, lawyer Pia could be. Are the real heroes of the day? Omo na ye the abema won to me nya netie dedim. Nti sabi day when they are not going to stop what they are doing lawfully.
I was there reporting. I was there reporting. I was there reporting.
For me, it doesn't even matter. So I must say, the point is that cemeteries can be the reaction is not the same as Ubia. Yakase, these are the specific
allegations against them.
Abra, omo invited to interrogate him. See, I heard. Say, I was with him throughout the trial. The court every time the case was called. Who went there? Dr. Opuni, omo invited and say, omo to suna no. Obi call baby omo interrogating no. Collins Zauda. Obi call baby omo interrogating no. Friend saying, Jachi Kwesi. Obi call baby omo interrogating no. Because due process was being followed. Even if we disagreed with the claims they were making in terms of say Omaya Boniyana or Mokana, you cannot fault the fact that due process was used.
Okay.
So Mayan to Tony Masi, Nayan so and they are and Tasumusu. Say merely because you go and make noise at a facility belonging to state law enforcement officials in Tinona. No, it doesn't happen. We cannot run the country like that.
I see. Indeed, we cannot.
And you are buying debt. Say you got you be a two. No, say you see why you be a it's yam radia. I say the family and the president has no role in it. Want to make us why money in ya. The president cannot any president that does that will say that.
But then you over catches a crime of fashion. No, I mean probably no.
Say if you and if you trust someone D at on chair. Why? We are talking about a party. Omu to me ede entade ne akode share on mebunosa amam ko tutu buotuo ebo nipa na eye adwuma wayo aso weso kon omu to me ma MPP mebunu ko court rohun akoye de bonu from vandalism akose court wo eyi nipa na yedu o masem epie ye to aba na nsem 2020 say nipa nwotwe nwi right ba ko di se adwuma no na oye adwuma of last house and Jubilee House and a party that behaves like that cannot turn around a few months after leaving power and purport to say they are fighting for anybody's humanity.
I'm not competition the dean of diplomatic record we say persecuting NPP support. So these are the image. That's your image you are creating.
You see, let me tell you something.
No, it's the image.
You see, Paka, make no mistake. And my wife will say the country is no more ambassadors and they don't have mechanisms of finding out the true state of affairs in any country. The sophistication Western countries want in fact they know things about this country that we don't know. So don't think that merely because what competition ambassador be and the diplomatic community it's not much as when they live here they know what is happening. Why? The same party Bakavoma.
Yeah.
Omanche on Nkofobi say Wakoye Facebook posts.
Say treason.
What I said, British High Commissioner, a commentary. Say, say, look at how this government treated the lady. Attended the DMP for the so today they know their way to the same diplomatic community to go and complain and say, Obia, due process. Yafa due process more. I don't know if I'm a person, Diablo, be share. Back of our prayer, and yet 37 here. Yeah. And I'm quite demonstration. What say, Mebunu Bay, if you know, and it's for merely protesting. I'm going hunger striking now. Just for protesting. Some more the placards, I call disruptive traffic at Cramo. I'm going to do a much with Yassi. That what you be, Yaba Bemu, you just uncle from the boy. And I'm the boy. That's true. They were in court as of the time I Yaba Bemu. So, how can a party like this that behave this way suddenly turn around and be protesting and say, due processor, you do be fastened, but you be happy. They were capricious. You see, it's more day after they put a man who was in a wheelchair suffering from multiple ailments. Now, I used to sit behind the man, so I saw his condition. There was a day, Judge or Oklosi sitting because of how the man was feeling in court. In the process of the court, was look at that hospital by 2-3 months. And the first year, didn't know doc at Timono. And it's not doc, and say, yellow cross examination. He could not utter one discernible word. Wow. Now, when we trace so the trial had to be halted. And it's really Yame Adaroma, the Papa Pedi Abu Anomanoko, India, to go and do a kidney transplant. I don't even know whether he's come back. Confedami put that man on trial for 2 years, no backwards, foot to come to court on any every single day the case is called. Or that's what's now hours. We want a mobile. Yet they want to make for due process more. The same people are claiming say Bonibia Koso. I'm sure say once there's indication say Brana Champo and others have been able to mobilize to meet the billboard. He'll be free. Let me say something to be and something to say. It is not the highest billboard you've posted. What do you mean? And it's not the highest. I agree with you. It's not the highest. They compose songs for what you mean for years. No, what you mean? What you mean? I say for the wouldn't wear billboard $54 million. I don't know any part. Now one, on your one billboard of 1 billion Ghana cedis. At Kwesi, and we were not giving billboards of our 600 million. So how can they say the Akosi? That until almost 30 we may build at 54 million. And now we may build when it was set at 54 million. Was it because not a modern tier? And I'm one when you at least when you so why does the MPP believe that they have to be treated specially? I see. Talking about MPP, I mean, there's this conversation, of course, to say, you want to be buy because instead of you focusing on the purpose of me, to say verify a man for CVs na the you are rather persecuting a year to me in the sense in relation to a year doctor and Delhi Sansa lady Nanka National Insurance Authority Board also. So clearly, I mean, that was a poor job on the part of the government. Well, would you choose? Maybe so. What is the nexus between Sansam and Assembly? Yes, of course. You do know. Wow, attracting international embarrassment because the international media. Maybe so. What is the nexus between Wuntumi Assembly? We are buying. I didn't have to 4 years now. All you must do is to deal with NHIS assembly. It is a wound to me and I use with Tiam I see Janet now because NHIS is my bed. I mean, I don't get the nexus. Right. So for me, you see, Obia won't can say Obabayechi. You have the right to comment. Right. And I respect free comment free. I'm going to be candid. But what you say must also be subjected to scrutiny. Right. Wound to me can't tell me because of assembly to my account to me. It is not commentary you should be accepting. I told him say Abaima obi appointment. Never told you as a nipa no kra no enkrata ogina so anase nimdi esusu owo no sa na nya no kra na yetwesan ya. Me say is a right step. Of course we can say there should be greater due diligence. Me too, there's no problem with that criticism. I'm sure say I'm sure say lessons will be drawn from this. If you know you be actually so that somebody say me see. But the most important thing, make you verify me credentials. So how come you miss this one? Well, it is something you can look into. So I must say, everybody who is appointed, they have background checks, including people who are close to the president of the post. Serious checks are made. Now we have a very solid intelligence system. But of course, once in a while, some fall through the cracks. So, Seban is Anna, and Penifos is a one am now share. Who should be our share? Who should be our patri and our night born? So, Yasha is up for Musu, Yadaya also. Meaning is a ABC Nemo, I see a channel so. Sassan to Yanan. In fact, about to one among and son as some no cry to ya. Washa, Abaya can as one call inauguration because at that time her nomination had been revoked. Yes, documents let's just say na enya appointment the man who cannot sign Ikitanos Abrel. It's an ocraches are buying to one among and son as some no Ebetobia. Sebi or my ye so Nasa Niba Futi. It is a what's BB now to say so what you are by Naswa. Yebeti na you to one among. I think it's a better way to serve people. Since Obayaso Brache say Adazidia beto just say when you are so mean to one among. President Mama wants to now, Mr. Direct question. Yeah. Was she ever the physician to President Jomala? Because it's on social media. John Mahama, the physician. Sebi, and you be honest, so right. Beginning say you have the capacity to verify information. Right. President Mama, the physician. I on an several years. Oh yeah, Dr. Penia won in the pa. Abawa we on men President Mama baby see any no credit. So in fact, sir, we no cry no. Ebi no cry say fake crap. That it was any people na agent meeting. I don't know. MPP for no shares all over the place. MPP exactly. You can share. Sometimes we clear the man. And I'm say you can't fake news. I want somebody they have factories that produce fake news. So that must say so. And you have a TBR. And yes, what say that's Abraham Macrasso. I can tell you an authority on your president physician. President physician he's been there for many years. Oyerepa wounded a highly qualified medical practitioner. Oh no, on the president Manante long before he even became president. No, why your man for say it's the seat of public officer Joseph prosecutor. Is it well, considering say? No, just say because I mean, identical community motion for false publication. This is also like that to me. It can be looked into. It is routine. It will be done. But it will be investigation. Of course, it will be looked into. And I'm going to say to me, but the first step was to make sure say Ebetu just be bisa akosono. Ebetu one among yachi appointment nasa, and we've done just that, which is what the president must do. Yes, I see. Honorable, I mean, quickly, you say again for now come here, Juma made their boy who buy. I mean, beyond the conversation, okay, say, some cost of living, the big team of for mama, the wahi high and that the day. I did back again for a shade anymore. Mr. Omampena can want some day, the 24-hour column, the Mompena, I can want some, but yeah, it's a commercial. I won't for so many being free. Oh, Sabi, meaning is a slogan of one corner. If a commercial is a major commercial nerve center, right? For Ghana, it can be a great deal cost of a day, Sikapudro no brew minor. So you commercial film when ye. So send Ghana for Kubehin Hamo, Ghana baby, as I was preparing a commercial for me. I mean, who was on the now 4 years. It is a place I really like. See, I can't. One of the places I enjoy coming to Kumasi. When I come down home, in fact, before election, I think a week to election, maybe did 3 days to Kumasi. Oh, okay. That was when I even sensed a near Massa. That was something because I brought a students several years ago, maybe 16, 17 years ago. And now there was a bit of hostility towards the NDC. But me November last year, it was clear near Massa. Now those days, which NDC teachers go Kumasi are now Usru Kakra because. I mean, wish a man for response to you. It is not encouraging. But me call in November. No, ordinary people on the streets, market women. Omo edi omudwa wo kwan ho. Obi abeshia no kwan obi ano. Budget was so because you are wearing this t-shirt. In fact, now omo press t-shirt ameshia no kwan me run kwama wo. It showed me so no things have changed. But why have things changed? Because omo the GDA SNPP form. Say ometumi bibi di aboa wo mo ebre so yan wo bo nkonta no omu say omedi omuhwamo apart from akokyere no ohia na bebesa na mo di abre wo mo na mpuntu papa bi anko so omedi to and at least President Mama holds a record of making the single largest infrastructure investment in the history of the Ashanti region. True. through a Yekidama. It's almost $300 million in
that is very true.
It's the single largest infrastructure investment in the history of the Ashanti region. Prempeh, the second airport. If I don't say President Mama and Sanwe Jumentin Nebadesa. By 2014, we first phase. A Mania International Airport. Yeah, the lights by ya and we map place to me see anadro. It to me two anadro. First nentesa, answer never nentesa. Ye we no President Mama Sanko pay Bosia. If he a year Sika crab ye be a was paying from Banco Santander. By 75 million euros. Say and fan share a first phase of the terminal building. I see. It's a cartel sold 5th December 2016. Sign a contract on mobilize eco site. President Akufo the yebi, but on the an additional 65 or so million the source for the second phase. It is a President Mama, yes, and there will be no terminal today. It's also a couple of Mama and she you can speak about the water projects. Kumasi about 13 or so community day schools. Edujama community day school. I think it was one of the first to be completed. So Yabakwasam actually prefer for Mina Hospital. I have a man sign with to 24-hour economy. There's every indication. Roll out in the bus. There's every indication. Maybe I should say, Mama, or Asantema Mondo. Nabakwasam says, why you be Abu Asantema. Now, Namia Duma was a bit of a sign, the sense Akra Eddie account. Now, what's your saying in America? Emi amini akitua Dr. Frank Amahoni dwumedi awodi wo kwa ama emebuno ne nipa dodo na nya ne mugidi nya aban ne mugidi na there's every indication say ne mabeko ye 24-hour economy President Mama kan no that what we feel say nyame eya ade a say bibia to year at least by 1st July obepa ho ntuma
exactly
yaye Accelerated Export Development Committee President Mama nankasa any dwemtinani on tie ends na committee so the only committees are President Mama chair and a president chair. Normally, a National Security Council.
Okay.
And a cabinet. Yeah. It is also Mampeni Mama and our Mampeni be a chairman of a committee. They know it's a very serious
committee.
So it shows you the level of interest or such it 24-hour economy so opening power down no or was it no we any say we nim mapa e wo sika sem na edwedi ehihye ho why ehihye no ama bibia esie in fact na wo hwehwe mu yayi o mampeni mama ene de boni be ka stakeholders as 24-hour economy di mu akotene guta omo a ewo industry omo ye hwede dwuma omo aye omo nkasa adwuma omo aye sika sem ho adwuma ne ade aye nhyiemu o Jubilee House ama ono moto ato adwene efa akwa ebefa so age omadwe nkyere e wo sa 24-hour economy
pilot and say
it will be rolled out because it will be rolled out of course because it will be a gradual roll out to make sure say yam pre say ufiti gbe ko pe airport sia emoja na eba just here to ye bo ye hye ni ntina ya to ye bo a ye hye nti by say bibia to ye na bibia ansesa by July there we should start
we
will launch it near implementation.
I see. Nancy, I said declaration that yes. I'm penning my deadlines. Be a man for being this so. Over share about say a bimba acquire. But what check it? What check here? What's the update? What's the
check? Auditor General the one baby.
Oh, when you're for reporting.
Because one say obi o wa you appointed before February 18th. Right. I'm penning my first deadline. Obi o wa you appointed even after the second deadline. So you need time to put all the facts together. Send a 1 year from so. Once the report say a bit more file, but your question on fact. On my file, the evidence grabbed by with receipts. She say on my file. International say and CPP. Sa information ebe kan yes I ebe hwem. Na yehu omo a eya so brachia. Omanye so say na mampeni mama kan say be say we ya so brachia then you be na kuminhwi. And now you both have
this time wow from the
so say a benefit say bosomo on pese obeku no na o chewo na chiwa
exactly
njo apeni mama aka so omo ya so brachire abre edi kan no wa hwe ma so omo de aketua bosomo miensa aketua ebeka ba ko ho na ye 4 months e de akoma mama case eye Ghana medical transfer ne de aboa omo wo yare a ne kono eye kona into why a first one and of course by a certain time say why nya and the not if you na beko It is when this one and then
no mercy cry.
And you'll be in the but me sure say a brother some you will sound contano. Ghana for the
I see. But that's now. Wait, just 2 quick points. Nothing. You want to up at the other pay right here on the show. Looking at the air costing in a Baumia Utian comma, and I'm doing politics right now. Sure. Utian comma, 2028. And you're positive for the NPP because already John Mahama will be doing just 1 term.
That is true.
Into 1 term, no be dino. I feel I'm not so. Who will succeed John Mahama, the president? Is this a way to your president? Because this could divide your front, it may break you all the achievements you've done going forward into 2028 election.
Back at NEC, yet you 1991.
Right.
Since then, there are 8 elections. You didn't campaign, I think 9 elections.
Yeah.
You didn't campaign, and I didn't go and pay 9. We know how to select leaders, and you before it's nothing new to us. Cecilia, the no Cassidy. Your march and it will be inappropriate to begin discussions about succession.
No, because what's that for? I can also make the same comment. Who have video?
People are free. People are free to
very soon.
People are free to make comments. Some periods. I'm going to find a currency. Abra President Mills fee. I actually prepare a new candidate.
Sure.
You call next meeting, and I think the honorable abuse will propose a movie emotion say in fact President Amanye candidate. I will be added to now your President first time. He beat President Akua Asieduaa by 320,000 votes in the 2012 elections. So no credit say you need to run several times and some win. It is not true. No credit. So that is the first point. The second point, they say, and then actually say the mere selection of a candidate will lead to acrimony. It is not true. It depends on Kwanya Befaso Aya Woniama. Say baby or where there's a likelihood of acrimony. I am people because what should any amount for a position where by champion aba. Me I mean Patrick
Boma is likely to contest.
I mean he's a fine gentleman.
Yeah.
But he be any
Educhum.
So woman not the back wa bebom. In fact you got to me who century be a chese so press obey be Kenya Japan so why thank you talk they have to abandon it.
Yeah.
At some point omo chairman kura sign the just going to thank Ghanaians for whatever votes they gave them in the elections. No, on the stage they were trading accusations and insults between Abroad and Japan. Even after an election, on the stage, Mujina a dominant Muslim or Domas and so if there's a party science in the church. It is clearly an MPP. We have mastered the art of reaching consensus on a desirable candidate. That's why we won more elections than the MPP. We won more elections than the MPP.
True.
And he says something about our ability to organize. Of course, by all means, time is soon be a prayer. There will be 1 or 2 things that will be said. But Dr. Bedasamono can answer. Or say, consensus building is the best form of democracy. Say a better to adrena yaja to say any same and then the papa.
Right.
So we have the experience, we've been through the mill, we know what to do. But some catch on and pempe I know Casadia. Yet topmost priority and it's a big money. Yamia dom yasha se kwampaso. Obiaji to say Yama Obia Esene send ye be to Mama Penny Mama or Shebo say Oba the first 120 days. Obayani bi waye me no ka say eno anko a so me MP eno anko a yakọ parliament akọje NHIS formula ne tu 10.7 billion because of uncapping into no sika 10.7 billion ena beba futuo no mu for NHIS ye de bi be ye mama Kwesi mama ka say number no star 255 star 255 into message say Kitwe biensha
star 255
now the kakra atumu e de ama mama Kwesi no se ne be ya e betumi but aban ewo sikapodu aye dwetira e be fi NHIS mu aba ne de akọ you will be a friend of free primary healthcare and also yesha ye de beba last week also NHIS so much sika 264 million Ghana cedis to service providers me no ka say aban asase a ye che sanitary pads ema mariwa yes, I said, as a Brian Tina or Montman. Their friend no fee stress students and additional for 156,000 and are buying 8 year on admission fees. It's me no say, you know, as of last week, now additional for over 51,000 and now on my essay, or register or year about 41,000 or so. And I the sure said the numbers have even improved. Yeah, yes,
you see the few challenges.
If you didn't know, send a bill to me, big push, I feel 13.9 billion. And I try to wire the Bayan Puntujuma, Ghana. I feel we, Namaya Doma, 800,000 textbooks, and I bang we, HSK. Or they better over 500 million Ghana cedis. They are to say the BDC Edgeman. Obeka and the MPP for 6 consecutive terms. Omwangaza kofa curriculum ana adisuamu share baya na omasakra ne for 6 consecutive terms. Na omuntu mi to textbooks man kwala ne nsia de. School feeding. Capitation grants for 4, 5, 6 terms. Na sika nko. Aban to so san dem we nyina se na be ya Ghana fo ho ebe hare omo emebunu ani adwuma ene adwuma wura ye de aba ye hwe se emebunu be ye empem du na ye de ombe fantetie mu empem mienu na ye de ombe fantetie mu a ye hwe se omomodomo no e wo soro a ebe mu sika dwetire ye hwe sika 100 million Ghana cedis e de to National Apprenticeship Program NAP sika 300 million. Na minimum says NAP no e ade abua pa kire se between 2020 and 2025 me contest here me ankasa through my own efforts metumi ama mebunu be 2000 issue answer because my chair machines, dryers, hair clippers, any other tools are this year nti me to we acha na otwe me no bia to answer from some ceremony and mebunu airport and it has made a difference in their life. Look, there's a story me ko baby ko di djuma me wi na bawa bi eben me no kita ne ba abaya kakra so order masalam so order masese no see o at 2 years earlier me ko kro bi efe woteti na me kasa yemu no me kan bi fa eye National Apprenticeship Program so me won share me de bebo me bu netisa ye wi ya no ben me no ka kire me say owoba kakra se me ni be me bia wo na mom no nehwe na ye den koyi as a school kokra na ye ne den so de akra de bekosu isa se na oni adwuma we sua hairdressing na mom no ni buafo na me so santi me gina wa na me ma me chitafo ni bi ekọ fie ko yi dryer ene akade kakra bre ne so wanye nti ne veranda so na ko se niema na odi ye adwuma kakra nti o sia me 2-3 years later no obeda mase say because of that the automation ne ba as you know, bed in the bium, and from when you're one son or yes, and there are many of such people. I see. Inti, so one being San Juma. Now, what one papa. Yes, I say, I feel when you're the Mebno and Pimudu and the Beshasi. But I feel Biano. So, what can't the next 4 years, woman? Yes, I say, a Mebno Bayer and Pim a henum 500,000. And I do fast entity in Paka, Ghana. Or how about a so piny mebuno near my Nasa Mebuno, Ghana, as I said, on the last 7 years, as almost 2 million youth are unemployed. So we are apprenticeship program. Now you move 500,000 few more. You have made a huge dent. Just a one botokro I was at you might know. So a significant program. I want to launch in the family. 300 million glasses, and you try to a fee. You did just said one. I'm so called youth fencing, development and empowerment ministry. Almost my mama as a home so up to now. And also, I'm aware said nationwide registrations have gone on. Maybe we don't actually say managers are on a daily basis. You messages, of course, about maybe more stress or you find a more conquer with the actual. Into there are structures in place. You did this money now. Also registration air cost and Tibiano on Meshas. But there's real work here. You might ding pass your best son, Yama. And now, your main child, your so essential share pa. On my penny mamma name, the finance minister, and about Ghana, I can't boom. You see, some near your men. ebre bi atwam Ghana ye default ye chese e ka ye de ye pa mu ka se ye ntumi ntia nti eya mansa dwa so e koso ko bosia no omotu ye funu mu se enya de a kapra abonto ko mman bi me no ka se fetch ni ade omo ye rating agencies no mama upgrade ye fi FSA selective default was saying eco CCC
plus yeah
so it's a clear improvement. I see. And in fact and rank one e beto just say a few months ago na Ghana bonds will be am pese ordinary sabeka na mom e sign sikasam to ye pa ya na seed no ahode akosoro na bibi ba futu no minti no we are going to give the highest earning bonds this year to investors.
I see.
So all around there's progress, there's evidence of progress in punto
progress
obi abeja to me say yenam kwampa so.
I see.
Enye ni na nie we ya hyese ne ehia ne sustainability say na wa we di kan na nimdefo bebe ne well meaning people have said no kre anu nti na do ne say fiscal discipline e wi ase won ho se ye kasi kasem wa ne fire ba nyina ne say de beba wo futuo mu no eni say wudi manabro so bebre.
Right.
Bonus, you must live within your means. It's back. Oyerepa impeni for you out 10 cities bosomia. What the 10 cities? I want to go to natural bar. And go the 10 cities some more bosia 30 cities in Kamu. And yes, I eat ya ka bosomi di wana. Besa di okotiaka. Right. Sa brand bi na before be boy. Ba ye no so say ese ye nneema yi a sika ye nya no ho brand ye bo de pepepe. Nti woko sika sam to me for be primary balance. So be so hwe say aban no e de Ghana sika sam na kwampa so a e fa no primary balance no foto sika ebem ene no be say expenses say sika expenses we are was say ensoso an wo de we right we are now what insi hu a wotua we ka wo de no free mu de be ka no e fa no primary balance say e positive anase e kosoro a na e papa eba forma enye ye ba abem na osese MP before omuja negative 3.9 che say o medi ma na bro so akọ eka eye ohanchemu miensa ne 3.9 negative 3.9%. Nti ba je say de mu say ye be mo de sa fi ye benya 1.5% surplus che say ye benya de be bro so a eye 1.5%. Me no ka say you do 0.3%. Oh, after the first quarter.
Okay.
After the first quarter.
Okay.
It is positive move balance.
Me final question. Me final question na mwe. CJ Chika Kwesi. Omampene is worried.
Oh, we see the president doesn't have a position on the matter.
Exactly, but is he worried?
No, Tio Paka.
Mama no go to process. She on one court. She was in court a few days ago.
And on one court. Me say me minimum ya madam for fear be say me yo bibi na anya woda. One kwanso de court. It is allowed. She has a right. Obi obeka say why bibi born say court. Me nipa na nya adwi. She has a right to assert her right. Omampeni me no ka say he doesn't have a position on the matter. He so onya ejinetu obi wo ho. He say
he's not interested in whether
he should not be interested. You see, a neutral process. It is almost automatic. The attorney say, Ghana Mrahano. Above cast a friend is sacred cow. So, which remember between one. As the say, I thought that send your child man, Yakma, a bill quiet, or dear, or Mosaka, 1 year. Maybe I'm limited because we have a dear better back, better matter. Now, quite say, who could not is down. Besides, as you said, we in the Pacasia to do see the second one, where you must, and above kind of sacred cow. But I will back a woman can be a member woman, and a different rule of law now. Or be any more room rassle. The Georgia Constitution now, you need to me so much. I am a penny. I have 3 arms of government, penny president, head of the executive, speaker of parliament, head of legislature, and chief justice, head of judiciary. Sani Pamian saying, I'm running to say. So Moody Bonnie Bia. Nasa, it's Yamra Nuntino. I was say, you two my dear swa, why I am fast. Yeah. So nobody, including the president, is above the laws of Ghana. Or ya bonnet needs ya Ghana. I'm ra. Yet to me the fact I'm not answering the free. True. Into the constitution spells it out. Oko article 146 actually say so my penny to the baby. Now obi be catch the say. A chief justice. Ya wadansi di actually say why bonnet to say ya. Adi so ye I can say. I was say on Council of State, a man about so cool. to adwene the friend consultation right omu wia e wo se omoma chief justice yakasa asem na fa no no ebeyi ne ho ano sanse e wo se omode saa adansedi na nipa na kire se wo ho no e kire se osimesi ana obentense boni a waye ni anu ye wo ne de wan so the bar ye fe bi prima facie as a share say e so man penetinase on the council of state tinase no mbo bo say osimesi 77 billion chief justice afa 10 cents chief justice dey anu ye ba no one cast one fa 10 cents na mo so of 8 cents okay one fa 10 na 8 mo mu ye rem nti ye hwehwe mo say 8 cents na fa e fa na council na say etiabra nti na fa na prima facie se wo hwe asem no eni so a e te se me na otimi me nya nti ye se wo ba na me bisa ni pa o fam se wo ba no so ko shata de fita if you haso e bia mre wa na se wontu shata de fita ba paka me nya nti ye se wo shata de fita ba fia wontu shata de fita ba e te se wo so e te sa mo shata de kokko na so mra me kuma wo shata de fita. So on the first of what I've seen, I say we one because as long as I share, and then the memo no work. So I say, it's another prima facie. I know it's just a American international multinational for prima facie. No country up to date. She doesn't know, and her rights are being violated. No, and na I'm a manager. So I'm being in Council of State. Any time prima facie. Council of States. It's what my belief. Say omo chief justice na nsan na onti committee ana onti committee na onfa nsam no na omo na omo ye na omo ya sa de na so obo chief justice nsan ya ese udisu article 146 6 esa so kire say sa nhwemu ni na mu sunsun aso ene emu nsam kan ni na ese ye bisu mase article 146 agency constitution is the supreme law of the land baka we before when the Amanosemechi field you are one of the brightest media participants journalists. Over to me, I can is work. Say Emra we see on my beginning see now so with ya.
Lord there you no one reach
on my penny only option. You say what's here the language of as one was only option. Right. In other words, he doesn't have a position on the matter. As somebody else on my penny need a beyond doing what the committee the Council of States and the Constitution I share the information. So committee no got na send them action no chief justice ni apin yakọ na ko dia dance dia kire say saa se no ni man meka ye ko ntompo e bo se muka you could be any one ne musu committee no every time when you say yes I'm trying to say that will become
consensus that you are the rights are being violated in member crime section normally for some of this process they were judicial they block what they call osukasa in a state of victimization and fear all these consensus and how president right out of court
that's a form the president cannot do anything at this stage. The right for a Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will not matter.
Of course, exactly.
I must say, we need in the source of the case.
Yeah, it's true.
So Supreme Court will rule here. Where you realize the argument? Supreme Court will play. I know what it should be a few months ago. It's due process has been followed. Say the enemy will sukasa. That's not where they are. They need to make can be. And I can tell you, say it is a state facility. Even the Supreme Court is a state facility.
So there is no one judicial block. So normally for such events, the judicial block one a year, or law court complex or office one a year.
There's no issue with where the thing is held. Said it's a committee set up by law. And I'm in like it. Your man has to be say on the map here. Bam was more. That is what has happened. First of all, how does where the hearing takes place even affect the substance of the case? But what goes to Supreme Court? I'm not sure what it was. So what I even say is completely material. So what?
All of men.
But I'm not sure what I'm saying. Omapeni emu obiafo. Omapeni ye bibia kan your managers on your internet out. Where is the infraction of the so to meet then there's a basis to proceed. You with all your knowledge
on the side of the law
on governance, I'm able to point out
they are the president has not heard constitutional follow.
Again, even the very fact that Chief Justice to make courts are challenging some of the process. It's an indication. Say the process is fair. During the pendency of committee hearing, and I said, Abra committee and Altinasia, Omudias, or one said, the meaning will be one, or the call a higher body. And the Supreme Court is the highest adjudicating body in Ghana. What I'm going to say? I believe that the name she can find a appeal and so every avenue is available. Abandon any BS in and that will be a in fact, apart from the Chief Justice himself, Nipa will follow Supreme Court, Supreme Court, so there's no hindrance. I see. BBA, you are considered Amakubi. Say, as a lady, you want, or my family, also, I could pass it in a so, there's a problem in the process without pointing out what the problem is. And people have a right, definitely, to hold any view. Let me in an arrangement, we'll be to win but what the law says must be obeyed and respected. And the law is interpreted by who? The Constitution Court. If they say, they pronounce through due process, open courts, they are the ones vested with power. Yeah, we grumble. We grumble. Of course. But we have to accept it.
It doesn't change the verdict.
Absolutely.
All of them are not paying. But yes.
Australia Prime Minister. When you join the game, you play by the rules.
When you join the game.
You are bound by what the laws of Ghana say. If you are able to point out any infraction, I'll be the first to accept and admit it. But as we speak, but they have never been able to point to one infraction. Indeed, we had a situation at Ghana Bar Association.
Of course. I mean,
we are calling for a violation of the constitution. And how do we get to a juncture? Association I know they are renew for and come share on my benefit say so how is that even possible? So it's one of the contradictions of this case. But one believe does not have any interest on your justice. Or your president, his powers are clearly defined. Numerous 2028 now for say but for as long as he remains president, he must abide. In fact, January 7th, you go see our Independence Square. And you said they are not at a buffet again. It was a solemn occasion. Our Benuko side, he swore an oath to uphold the constitution. So, Obi our constitution, which you cannot point to any infraction of. You can't say so.
Honorable, but that's another pay. We should come away with just a minute and again for you and Casa briefly. You
want to say, you can never kind of pass. Right. Say, Umunya, Omabini, Mamma, and Miss Yaman. Now, you will get a seat with you. Never you should send the Padu to Sam. It is our Padu again. I beg you to keep my I'm actually a kind of war air shaping will see the woman of my person. It's a woman I'm getting on fire. We swap all you. Now you are should say, and to us any mention I am senior moon with time. Not only two pombi. Essence any of the 2 years, Castle. Anyone would share by so not I'm a any hotel, any good to come over. It's a better kind of us. The best is one
that's Felix Kwachio Fosu, Minister for Government Communication, also Member of Parliament, and the man Akua Asieduaa in the Central Region. I'll say, and I don't make the Ghana from Taiwan and Tambach. And mind you, it's a 3rd July, National Prayer Day. America's senior man, Elvis Free and Krakana, and even the former president, John Ajay has endorsed it. Say Ghana for on July 1. you know, Bompire, and Felix of my case, one beginning at the Kwesi, Parker, Wilson, I live with the Kwesi.